the formation you guys. I've just
What's
got you guys in this because it's probably been some time.
what's that one
Sure.
to the left of the Mistress Bounty? Huh. Is it the dogfish that I'm on? What am I on right now?
You guys have had
You're-
time to be wherever you want
Yeah.
and start working on what the fuck you're doing with any of this stuff.
At the end of combat, you were on the dogfish
Okay.
with Mr. and Gilbert's characters.
By the way, the name of the man of war is Diplomat.
Wait, did we rename all the ships?
I renamed
Not
mine.
yet. But somebody needs to use this name.
What kind of ship is the dogfish?
The dogfish is a sloop.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That one's mine.
Oh, under the other item was a cup of the carpenter.
He chose wisely.
Yeah, under you have a cross of the paragon and a cup of the carpenter that I had gotten as relics that I didn't want.
Okay.
Hey, AGR, could you arrange them in 3 fleets so we can see which ships are ours, which ships are the pirates, and which ships are the loot?
Papa Jose.
Hey, Mamma Mia!
Hey, Zavudu! I didn't even see you sneak in here.
Been here for a minute.
This one has no crew on it, so.
We can fix that.
I think those are the ships that had players on them. This one was empty. And these are crewed by nothing but NPCs, and these are important people.
Whoops,
Okay.
nothing but NPCs.
Yeah, I just wanted to visualize so I know what ships we actually actively have and which ships we're going to be attempting to barter for and keep. Height ranks we're sailing here.
Wasn't there a 4th galleon that Spectre had?
Yeah.
Ah, that one.
Galleon.
Sorry, I thought that was the flute.
All right. Well, I suppose we could start counting while we're sailing, and Under and I going back and forth between the Executor and all the galleons, and taking inventory, counting with the Admiral. So I'm assuming the plan is we're going back to Tortuga, correct?
That was my plan, yes.
Yes. Does the Admiral have other plans, or is he agreeing with us to go there?
I mean, the admiral does have other plans, but we'll discuss that in a moment. He definitely would recommend, um, with this many vessels, um, he's pretty sure you could all get letters of marque and like medals for this. Uh, and he's also pretty adamant because he would look really really good if he brought all this shit
Yeah,
to a
but
British port.
he didn't bring all this shit.
I believe he's proposing a joint venture.
What he wants
Yeah,
to sail
he-
But
things?
he
he
wants
would
all
look
the
good.
credit.
He would look good, but we would also look good.
Well,
Yeah, but
Well,
he's
basically, we'd be
trying to
able to
get all the
leverage.
credit.
No, he's trying to gain his political issues, which we don't give a damn about one way or the other. But to incentivize us, we could probably get letters of marque, which would make us, official underneath
And
British law.
easier- Yeah,
You would also get like equal cuts. You just would end up getting slightly less than if you broke off.
yeah. See,
Um,
that's where I don't like. I want all my money.
They don't
Mhm.
want our ships.
I
They're
don't want
gonna
any of this
try
going
and-
to the British government.
They're not gonna steal our ships, are they?
But letters of marque.
and medals. Shiny.
What- Okay, do we have a letter of marque right now?
No.
Can get it though.
you do not.
Do we have a letter of marque right now?
You do not.
Do we have a bunch of loot right now?
Yeah.
You do.
Did we need a letter of marque to get this loot?
No, you
No,
did
but
not.
it will certainly give us more options.
I like
But-
medals.
But having friends of admirals can come in handy.
But we already have the friend of the admiral.
All right, including
just
the
wants
admiral's
credit.
men. It looks like you have 378 men to split this loot between.
Well,
Okay.
until we know how much loot there is, this is rather
Plus
a
the player.
premature conversation. So why don't we get a total of all the loot in the 4 galleons?
Oh wait, that's right. AGR, could I have picked up some poison?
Where would you have picked up this poison?
I don't know, man. I just intend to poison the food of the entire ship for no particular reason.
Which ship is
Poison
he on?
sword.
I recommend planning these things ahead of time and letting me know.
I know, I'm joking. Because the whole I poisoned the ship's crew bit that Mr. pulled.
All right, it's going to be dice rolls for all of these ships, so it's going to take a minute to find out what the loot inside is. Give me a moment.
That's no problem. It's just, until we know how much loot we're talking about, it's rather premature to decide how we want to split it, whether or not we want to go for letters of marque, etc.
Yeah, what ratios when you use all of that's going to be affected by the total.
Okay, so I have found the table. Now you're going to get to re-roll any results you don't like for any of these treasure ships, like one time, right? So it's a D12 roll for every slot, and each treasure ship has 6 cargo spaces.
Are they all
So-
full?
Be-
Can we roll it all as once and then decide on if we want to change any of the rolls, or one at a time and then we decide each time?
you can roll up to 6 at a time because
Okay.
that's one ship's worth of cargo.
Are all ships full?
All of the treasure galleons are absolutely full.
Okay.
Slap full.
Well, I would certainly hope they're full. That's why I proposed we attack Havana.
Yeah, but that'd be
I was just
ridiculous
making
if
sure.
They emptied.
No, that's fine.
We
I
could
was
have
gonna check.
attacked too early and they hadn't loaded all of the Havana gold into it yet.
That's a good point. Because we didn't.
So the
yeah.
fact that they're full means we attacked at the opportune time.
So we will start with the San Juan.
Well, I think Hayes should roll it since it's his ship.
Yes, what do I roll?
Roll 6d12. Those look like good rolls.
Okay, 7 are the bones of a sea monster. 12. Interesting.
We find Hayes on the ship.
Yeah, there's a sorcerer with a tome of arcane rituals. That's interesting. Okay, 6 is either a relic or a rare artifact. 6 again, same. 10, D20 crates of ash. You guys haven't encountered that. And then 7, again, sea monster bones. So
I mean, if you're gonna re-roll one, I would say re-roll the ash. Ash is kind of worthless.
What do you do with ash?
Nothing.
Bathe in it?
To your knowledge, nothing. It's just ashes.
But what to the mind of a foul sorcerer?
I mean, it probably grows some really great tomatoes if you put that in the dirt.
Can
Well,
I
you
raise
won't-
the dead from ash?
No,
Dude,
you
it's
won't
not a
get to
corpse.
know because if you re-roll it, your characters will never have seen it in the first place.
The sorcerer doesn't know the uses of ash?
No, it's not a sorcerer
the ash
thing.
is useless.
It is microscopic carbon particles, Haze. It is ash. You know what ash is. You get it from fires.
Alright, I guess everyone wants to re-roll the ash then.
I thought we got ashes from Pallet Town.
AGR, this is the San Juan.
It is.
Okay.
Exotic animals.
Oh, hell
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay, we're
Lions
going to
and
go over
tigers
the
and bears
silver
on mine.
value of each of these items now, okay?
All right.
So, a 7 is worth 2,500 silver. A 12 has no silver value. Your 2 6s are worth 4,000 silver each. Okay? And then your
Are you
8
writing this down, Ruffles?
is worth
Yes.
2,000 silver. And then that last 7 again is 2,500 silver. Go ahead and total that up.
I'm just gonna write them all in one contiguous list and then total it later. Unless we want to know the value of each ship, then I can.
It's
stop and add 'em all
15,000.
together. Okay. What were the exotic animals?
Not
I didn't
bad.
write that down.
What were what?
What were the exotic animals worth?
They're 2,000.
Okay.
Is this a lot of money?
Yes.
Yes.
I like this money. This is a very good number.
No, Hayes, it's not a lot of money at all. It's very little money.
Yeah, you may as well give it to me for all it's worth.
Well,
Yeah.
then I'll just re-roll to get lower numbers if it's not a lot.
You only
Yes,
get one
but-
reroll.
Oh. Oh, only one of all of those?
Yes.
Yes, and you re-rolled the worthless ash into 2,500 silver pieces.
Oh,
Not a bad
I thought you could re-roll each of them. Okay.
Let me clarify. You may re-roll each of them.
Oh,
That's what he said. I was right. Fuck you.
I
I
might have heard what he
misunderstood.
said if he hadn't been so loud.
Okay, yeah, I misunderstood. I thought it was one reroll for all 6 choices.
If you don't like any given choice, you have one opportunity to re-roll that
That
choice.
choice.
Ah.
But we
Okay.
could try these lower ones. There's like a not the we just got the low 2,000, but we could roll like 2,500 again. I don't know.
Well,
But I mean, it
We've
seems like
already-
a pretty good number.
I wouldn't do this with regular cargo, but these are treasure galleons. They're putting their best shit in them.
Yeah, it's treasure advantage.
do you want to
It
reroll
is
the exotic
exactly
animals?
that.
We already re-rolled that one. That was a re-roll already.
It is.
Oh, that's right. I thought the bones were. My bad.
No, it'd be the
Um,
bones.
Yeah, the bones would be the. You want to re-roll the bones?
Well, you have 2 of them. Are you re-rolling both?
What are those? The 6s or the 7s?
The
They're
sevens.
the 7s.
And what was their value? 500.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we could re-roll one, see what happens.
Okay.
All right.
You're gonna have to retotal this.
That's fine.
There's a political or military figure. We'll have to examine that.
A
later.
hostage. You re-rolled the money into a hostage.
Maybe it's more valuable.
Wait, why did you re-roll the money?
Well, we were
Well, you
seeing
re-roll
if
one
we
of the
could
low
get
money values.
Yeah,
to
see if we
500.
get a
See if you
higher-
can get one of the higher values.
Maybe we could trade him for more money.
He
you
might be
don't
worth
know.
more than that. You never know.
I think
He's certainly worth something to the British.
I think we probably maybe we stop there then.
And the Spanish crown is like, no. We'll pay you to keep him.
Hmm.
that would actually be like a kind of thing within
Make note that we want
like,
more than
you pay
2,500 for
pirates
him.
to get rid of the heirs that you don't want between you and the throne. It's like, oh man, it's a real shame that my brother 3 steps ahead of me is stuck with those pirates.
Yeah.
Just keep paying them to make sure he doesn't get unstuck.
That sounds like a sweet deal until he starts reading you poetry.
Well, that's that ship done, I think.
That
I think
was a
we're
joke
ready
intended for Gilbert.
to move on to another ship.
I got it.
Do we want to
It's a
roll
real
for
shame
spook, or do we
until-
want to see if he's going to show up?
Well, yeah, we could save his ship for last if he does show up. Somebody ping him too. He might not know the time.
The real shame is when the whoever the hell you're taking as hostage demands that you charge more for their ransom.
All right. So what's the next ship then? The Santa Margarita.
All right, same rules. You can roll 6d12, and I would just roll. I would roll like 6 2d12, and then take your pick of the 2 on either one. How about that?
Works for me.
All right.
Ruffles, you rolling it?
No, I have the list typed up in my chat bar right now.
Why don't you put out the one list? Do we do one for each ship?
All
Because
right.
then it's all in one block of text that we can pin.
Okay, so you're clearly taking the exotic animals for that first roll, and not the 10,000 silver worth of gold coins and treasures, right?
Yeah, what kind of idiot would just take that money?
I'm thinking I'm thinking we're gonna go with the 10,000 silver of gold.
Oh wait, you let him pick either one for all of them?
I just decided it would be faster. If you want to re-roll the rest of yours, that's fine. Just do it, and we'll come back around.
All
to it.
right. Oh, look, another set of gold.
Okay, so hold on. 8, and then you have 5. So that's a military prisoner or an imprisoned undead.
We're gonna go with hostage, not the undead.
Okay.
What, you don't
Okay.
imprisoned undead?
2 or 6, so more gold, because you'd prefer that. You'd rather have the gold than a relic or an artifact, because that's potentially another roll on that d20.
I'd rather have the gold.
That's fair. You guys have a bunch of artifacts.
Okay.
Never too many artifacts.
So you're getting sea monster bones, whether you like it or not.
Under, could you send me a
Well,
screenshot
8
of
or
the list?
4 is important prisoners or animals. I'm thinking we'll go with the important prisoner.
Because I'm not finding it in my my PHP. It must be the other version that I don't have.
Oh, you want the full version?
Also,
Okay.
HR, you've not explained what the 12 was.
It's a
12 is a
sorcerer.
sorcerer with a tome.
We'll get around to it.
Then 5 or 7, 2,500 or a hostage. We've got a lot of hostages. Let's go with the 2,500 for that last one. Okay, so that's a Santa Margarita.
Yeah, which I don't know much of anything of what you kept or didn't keep, so I can't make the list. That's why I'm asking if you could send me the screenshot.
Just hang on.
What are ones?
My God, some of y'all needy.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
Well, my rerolls are
Each
easy. There's
one-
3 ones.
Each one is 5,000 silver worth of raw silver ore.
Okay, well, so the 4's a reroll of.
The 4 is
Thank you.
a prisoner. It's a hostage.
But we don't know what the 12 is, though, so.
It's a
don't know.
sorcerer with a tome book.
I mean, he has a book with a D4 arcane rituals in it.
Alright,
So
we'll,
you need
we'll
to
keep
pick
him.
first, and then
Oh.
yeah. Okay, if you're keeping him, you can roll the D4 for how many rituals he has.
I'm the sorcerer, right?
I am also a sorcerer.
We've roll a d4 first. All right, that's 4 ritual.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, he's your prisoner. So I don't know what you're doing with
But
the D4 rituals, but like that's something for after we loot the ships. Yeah.
But could we
Yeah.
just say I was the sorcerer? Make more sense.
That's fine. I don't care.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you're either the
So-
sorcerer or you're the sorcerer after you slit the sorcerer's throat.
So then the ones were rerolls of the 6s. What were the 6s again?
Relics worth 4,000 silver.
Okay, so then we would take the 2 5,000s, right? Over that.
I would.
Okay, so then let's change that to ruffles, the 2.
Yeah.
And then the last one was replacing the last
Who
7.
knew there's this much accounting involved when you
So
robbed,
that's
Spain?
2,500 for sea monster bones.
So we'll take again the 5,000 over that then.
Okay.
So let me get the San Juan straightened out real quick. We got 1 set of bones, correct?
No bones. I thought we replaced all of that now.
No, sorry, that was the animals that we were replacing with the 5,000.
So we should have
Yeah.
1 set of bones.
Yes, 1 set of bones.
Sorcerer with tomes, 3
Yeah.
silver ore, and a political figure.
Yes.
Okay. So that total of actual gold value, 17. So yeah, you went up, Hayes. So good picks. Okay. Now, San Margarita. We got the gold treasure times 2.
2 golds, 2 bones, a political military hostage, and an important prisoner. 25k.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm caught up. I apologize. There was just a lot going on all at once.
All right. When you're done, I need a list of all your hostages, because that might be important.
We have 3
Yeah,
hostages. 2 of them that are the political or military hostages, and 1 that is simply listed as the important prisoners.
Okay.
So far. We still have 2 more galleons to go.
We don't have any bones. I was incorrect. This is the correct list. It's a political leader, a sorcerer, 3 sets of 5k, and the animals. The animals were a reroll of the ash, I thought.
No, the bones were.
No, he's right. The animals were a reroll.
Yeah, the animals
Were they?
'cause
Okay.
I'm looking at chat. My rolls are right. This is right. This
All
is
right.
what we should have.
Sure.
All right.
That's an easy change.
You might want to change sorcerer to like arcane tome 4, because there is no sorcerer.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at me. I
You
am
just
the
find a book
sorcerer
with spells
now.
in it.
Book of 4 rituals. Got it.
And one of those is the raise the army like Spectre, right?
Maybe. We can
You're
roll
gonna
for
have to
those
roll
later.
for 'em.
We'll worry about it later.
There's so much fucking loot.
Yep.
It-
So do you guys want me to roll for the Urca de Lima, or does somebody else want to roll?
Can I roll?
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. What am I rolling?
Same thing underdid above. 6, 2d12.
Hey, Jared, well, you got nothing up on that screen. Can you pull up the stats of the San Juan?
Those are my results.
Okay, so 9 and 5. So 5 is the political hostage. 9 is some number of locked chests worth some amount of gold each.
That's a money hall problem because you don't know the value.
Hold on. Are you saying
Of
that we have
either one right
acquired
now.
loot boxes?
Yeah, it's basically a hostage or loot boxes.
What do we want, guys?
I want the loot boxes.
All right,
Loot
loot boxes.
Hey,
Which ship
Jared,
is this?
He's on the Urca de Lima. Hayes is asking about the San Juan, though.
Hey, Jared, what is the +2 skill mean? Is that crew skill?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that's kind of
It's
small.
not plus. It's not +2 because they're all dead.
Oh,
It's going to be something totally different.
okay. And then is that say 2d10 for broadsides?
Uh-huh.
What's small arms? I can't read that.
It's like your swivel guns.
No, what's
and
the numbers?
Muskets. 1d6.
All right, so loot boxes then for that first slot.
What's 5 and 5? Political hostage.
That's a political hostage. 6 or
hold on.
5.
We get to choose between 2 political hostages. What are our options?
We're gonna deal with that later.
All right, because I'd like to pick one that doesn't require a lot of food.
Honestly, you rolled hostages twice. Just get 2 hostages.
Awesome.
If you roll it twice, just double it.
We get both hostages. Woo woo.
Okay, roll 2 2s then at some point. All right, so 6 or 5. So 6 is relics or rare artifacts, 4,000, or another hostage.
Relics and rare artifacts.
Take the relics.
All right, 11 or 9. So 11 is imprisoned undead. 9 is loot boxes.
So more loot boxes.
Why do we not want the imprisoned undead?
Because it's imprisoned undead, it's hard to convert that to currency.
Also, we already
Yeah,
have
we're
imprisoned
interested in
undead. That's
currency.
Spectre Sponge.
But what if he could be like a powerful ally?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, open up
Okay.
AGR stream, please. Please tell me what a single undead, no matter how powerful, is going to do against that fucking armada.
Yeah, but what about like for land
You know-
operations?
Underdark raises a good point. That's
But what
a lot
about
that's a lot of floaty boats.
operations?
You have about 400 sailors in this armada. There's 370 some odd sailors.
That's a lot of floaty boats.
Okay, that is 5 things.
Yeah,
Or
so
is
that
that
that was the loot boxes then. So now we're on to 5, which is 7 or 2. 7 is bones for 2,500. 2 is gold for 10,000.
That is a
Gold.
tough pick.
I'll take bones for
Oh,
2,500, Trebek.
So 7 is bones. 1 is raw silver ore for 5,000.
It's the daily double.
So,
gold.
The ore.
gold treasure and silver ore. Gotcha.
I like gold.
Hey, Jared, what's the max cargo of a galleon
6.
size?
6. That's why you're rolling 6 dice.
Ah. Cool.
It doesn't want to roll d4, d6.
I know. I was seeing to simplify it. So for the just so we can get it all down, the loot box values. So each set of loot boxes is a D10 chests. So Gilbert, roll 2 D10.
Well, he does that. Are you able to upgrade ships?
Yes.
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 So 15 loot boxes. Each loot box contains 2d8 times 100 silver.
So 15 2d8.
Times 100,
Hold
yes.
So 2d8 times
Bane is
100.
going to be so fucking mad.
All right.
All right, and how many times am I rolling this?
15 times, each chest.
12,000 silver.
So 12,100 silver in loot boxes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
The Urca de Lima had 31,100 silver pieces worth of cargo, not counting the 2 hostages.
Hey, did you guys know that there was a time when Spain took all of its platinum and dumped it in the ocean? I think this is going to hurt about as much.
All right, then we got Spooky Galleon. Is Spectre here?
You don't know the half of it, Gilbert. That
Nope.
was around this time. We may have just prevented that from happening.
So, does somebody want to roll for Spectre stuff, or you guys just want me to?
We've saved the Spanish economy.
Pete, you can make a roll.
Sure, I'll make rolls. What am I rolling?
The loot on Spectre's Galleon.
Okay, how many d6s is that?
It is 6 2d12. So 6 RR, 6 2d12. Okay, so then we get choices to make. So 11 or 3. So 11's imprisoned undead, and 3 is a religious hostage.
Religious hostage. 2.
Oh, good.
So
Somebody
2...
crossed it.
Oh, we get double gold!
I'd like to make it a
Beautiful.
true daily double AGO.
So
Get
12 and
20,000
3.
silver.
So 3 is another religious leader hostage. 12 is a sorcerer with a tome of
Sorcerer's
D4 rituals.
So more tome.
Yeah, more tomes.
Okay.
I assume you're just slitting the sorcerer's throat because he's too
Yeah.
dangerous to be kept alive, right?
Absolutely. All right, so
And
9
even
and
worse,
10. So 10
He's a
is
Spaniard.
10 is crates of ash, 9 is loot boxes.
Loot boxes. And then whatever 11 is.
11 and 10. 11 is imprisoned undead or crates of ash.
Oh, well, that's a shit roll. Crates of ash, I guess.
Okay.
What it is.
And then 9 and 8. So 9 is loot boxes, 8 is exotic animals worth 2,000 silver.
Are the loot boxes good enough to be worth more than that?
Yeah, with 2
They were
rolls
worth
on the loot box.
12,000.
We averaged
Six
we averaged
average,
6,000 before with the loot
Loot
boxes.
boxes it is.
Okay. All right, so
Alright, so what is
roll a
all that?
d4 for the tome.
Oh yeah, the tome.
2.
Yep, so that's a book of 2 rituals. So loot boxes, 2d10 for both of them. So
So I
15.
would-
So you basically just repeat Gilbert's roll, the RR 15 2d8 times 100.
I'm not going to make you, but I would propose that perhaps you save 2 of those spells for Spectre.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can have that
Give him the
book.
book of 2. Yeah.
Okay, RR 15, 2d8, and then I do what with it? 150.
Oh, times 100. So that's 15,000.
Jeez.
So more.
So that means our total of just like actual treasure, so not counting the hostages or the books, is
Raw gold value.
between the 4 ships, not including the ship values themselves, 108,100 silver.
Nice. All right.
Oh man, this
Mhm.
really is going
Under
down in
what were the
history.
last things on the last ship? In AGR, what's that ship's name?
The Spooky Galleon?
Yep.
I don't know what its old name was. I replaced it.
Okay, it's the sand spooky in my list.
Oh, it's a D20 crates of ash. So Pete, roll D20.
Ruffles, it's the San
crates of
Juan,
ash.
the Santa Margarita,
8 crates of ash.
the Urca de Lima, and the under also has the Spooky Galleon.
Yeah, I was matching Gilbert's name so that everybody could know what he was talking about.
Gilbert's names, what?
All right, so that is this. So there's how many crew?
378. Not
Okay.
including the party.
Not including the party. All right, of that NPC crew, how many of those would be getting officer shares?
You only have because the admiral is the only officer who stayed aboard his ship. He does have 2 seconds that are just enlisted that he kind of had to up rank because he had no officers. So that'd be 3 from his vessel, and then just 2 from 1 from Satisfaction and 1 from Pride, the captains.
So 5 NPC officers.
Now, if you don't want to piss off the other randoms that are on the other vessels, like each ship, like they're gonna have somebody who's acting captain, and they're gonna want to remain acting captain, and they're going to want the share. But that's, that's up to you.
All right.
It is likely that the other NPCs that are named don't give a fuck what you do with them.
Right, I'm just trying to figure out. So, was those 5 that you counted? Were those counted in the 378 or not?
No.
Okay, so that's in addition to that. That's fine. I'm trying to figure out like what an individual share looks like here. So,
With all of you, you got to divide it 390 ways. It's actually worse than that because the officers have triple shares.
okay, so officers get triple shares. All right, so so we got 5 NPC like commissioned officers. How many acting?
Let me make this more clear. Captains get triple shares.
Right.
Officers under captains get double shares.
Okay.
The acting captains, you have what? 1, 2, 3, 4. San Juan's empty. So 4 in addition to your NPC acting captains.
So 7 captains.
Plus all of you.
Plus all of us. And I think all of us qualify as captains at this point because we all have a ship. Does any of us not have a ship?
I don't believe I have a ship.
I mean, you could be captain of the San Juan, but it's empty.
I'm captain of the San Juan.
Okay, well then you have 7 ships then.
Yeah, so
I'm also not really able to attend frequently, so I.
Oh, but
I
one
don't
of
really
them
care.
is Spook. But I guess we'll just hand wave.
Yeah, he's got his crew of the dead.
that's fine. I'll count.
Okay.
So we have 8. So we have 8 player captains, 7 NPC captains, 2 NPC officers, and then 378 enlisted men.
Sounds correct.
I'm not in it for the gold. I'm in it for the terrorism.
So this is dungeons and financing, right?
Oh, you have no idea. I've got a
Came
spreadsheet.
to the
open.
right place.
All right, so that means that assuming captains and officers get their double and triple share respectively, 427 shares of treasure each. So that is 253 silver pieces per share.
How mad would the admiral be if another one of the boats disappeared?
So this is only the currency. This is not counting the hostages or the ships themselves.
Well, let's just pay him then. I mean, that's acceptable.
So there's definitely some debate between the admiral and the 2 pirate captains. Jean Lafitte would prefer to head up into the Bahamas. He doesn't really want to go to a British port. He's not really looking to go to Tortuga. He wants to go further up near Florida. Henry Morgan prefers Tortuga, and Port Admiral Hart prefers Port Royal.
Oh, Port Royal.
So now begin a series of brutal, bloody betrayals.
Not really. It's more we have to come to. So of the pool of loot, obviously the hostages are especially important to the admiral, more so than us. For us, they're really just ransom.
Yes.
He wants them for political reasons. So the real question is, how much is he willing to pay the rest of us for the hostages? Like, as his share, as part of his share. How much loot would he be willing to put into the pool?
Are you proposing we separate?
Well, I'm saying that it sounds like the NPC pirates are going to separate regardless. So at this point, we need to come to some type of equitable arrangement on the seas.
Lest it turned into a bloodbath.
Which is an
So-
option, but less than ideal when considering less than half of our ships are combat effective.
The admiral will tell you he's not concerned about his prize money. His crew has to get their shares. That's really not negotiable. As far as hostages are concerned, he's very, very happy to have hostages. He thinks that will be immensely valuable. But at the end of the day, he doesn't think he has enough to give you in cash to make that worth your while. He still thinks that you will get a better deal if you bring the vessels into port, let them go through the prize court, and because they will auction them all off, and you won't have to deal with trying to get rid of them somehow at these other ports.
I think we should go to the British.
You will get less. You're probably going to end up with half of the individual shares. Again, when not in earshot of the other pirates, he is absolutely okay with some of these other pirates not being here, with them vanishing without a trace.
Yes, let us do this.
Would his crew back him?
His crew, yes, they all abandoned their posts and risked a lot to sail with him, because he's definitely not supposed to be taking this ship of the line anywhere. He's in a lot of legal jeopardy.
I think we go to the Admiral. More money?
Wait. Okay, guys, I have an idea. Here's what we do. We find another little raid target, something light that we can hit. We then send the crews that we don't like in on the first wave.
God damn it, Gilbert.
And then when they
So-
land at this location, we then proceed to open fire with the cannons. We'll call it the Portside Massacre.
Gilbert,
Wow.
I think they're going to see through that one.
Are you sure you don't mean Port Site Massacre?
I like port site, and they won't see through it if none of them make it out of the port.
Besides,
Better
that-
yet,
this-
Dock Site
that-
Massacre.
so a couple of flaws
that
to your
seems
problem.
fine. You'll have to keep, you'll put Gregario in charge as the officer of the watch on the Executor. Then everybody will go ashore. They'll land in the port, and then
So
we'll just
so let's
open
assume we're
fire.
going to massacre the pirates, the competing pirates. How many of our ships are combat effective at the moment? Because like the Man of War, I know is 50. It's got a minimum crew. The Sitting Dutch is barely combat. Spooky Dutch is good.
We were very low on the on my ship.
Right, yeah, I know we're low. We're spread pretty thin. What's the Dogfish
The
look like?
Spooky can move; it can't fight.
We're at 5.
I thought the Spooky was at 17 out of 10 for combat effectiveness.
17
Yeah,
out of 30.
Oh.
The
Okay.
Sitting Dutch is
Galleon.
11 out of 40. I'm sorry, it needs 10. 11 out of 10 for the Sitting Dutch. Diplomat is 54 out of 50. Dogfish is 3 out of 10. Voodoo's Brig is 20 out of 15, so he has 5 extra souls. And the San Juan is at 0.
It's just Hayes alone on that ship.
But also the Pride is at 0.
One matter we got to take care of, AGR. The Dogfish is not called the Dogfish anymore.
What's it called?
It is now the Jackass.
What are the two pirate ships, or the pirate ships that would leave? What are those?
The Pride and the Satisfaction. But the Pride is not combat effective at the moment, and I don't know about the Satisfaction.
Like what types of ships?
Those.
Oh, they're tiny
Brigades.
little babies.
Yeah, those baby vessels are.
Well, the Pride doesn't even have crew, so it's only one ship we'd have to deal with.
Pride is just the captain, and he is still trying to get people to come aboard his vessel to leave, but
No,
nobody's
he's not an
leaving.
issue. It's only really the
We
satisfaction.
So what's the
board his vessel
satisfaction?
and cut off his head.
Hold
His seat-
on. What's the satisfaction? Like, let's get the full tactical picture because you're jumping the gun. What's the satisfaction? The satisfaction
You
is
guys should
combat
be sailing
effective.
together for a while.
What's the the two captured frigates that they have?
Wait, they have 2 captured frigates?
Yes, they do. That's why I said I want the tactical picture before I commit to anything. Is that out of 10 for those? San Pedro?
13 out of 10 and 22 out of 10.
So we're looking at 2 hostile frigates, combat effective. A hostile brig, combat effective.
The Urka's pretty effective. By the way,
Isn't the
the
Urka
loot
wasn't the Urka boarded by the Admiral's men?
Yeah.
So,
So they're
that
probably
would be loyal to us.
Also, they're pretty well, that's a decent number of people. Even though the ship might not be super effective, it does mean reinforcements are easy.
And the Santa
Margarita, it can only move. It can't do anything else.
Right.
Why don't we could transfer men to the 3 galleons? Well, 4. We'd have spooks too, and then just take them out.
Because we don't have enough men to go around.
Well, if we tow some of the other boats, just set them aside and
Um,
move men to the 4 galleons.
The Admiral is probably happy to recommend, that the 2 pirate captains that are problematic for you could be acquired, and if the men can be kept below decks on the Satisfaction, they go from being crew that you split the prize with to hostages, who will be hung in port. Sorry, hanged in port.
I like that option. Let's do that. Assemble the Royal Marines.
What about the 2 frigates? So those are captained by pirates. Those are pirate frigates.
Yeah.
We have to take those
But
guys
those
out.
pirates want their loot, and they haven't made any waves yet. So
they
it's up
don't
to
they don't
you.
really have a captain there. It's just the actual captains, acting captains of the Pride, and that's the issue. We can sway their crew
Yes.
probably. Any loyalist will
Well, it
just
would
send
be
along with
it
the
would be
Admiral.
up to you. You can kill them. You can attempt to capture them and keep them, quiet
Where-
until you make it to port, or you can, split the loot with them. It's up to you.
So, quick question about the rituals in this game. Are they similar to casting spells in D&D, having verbal and somatic components?
Generally, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't we just send the army of the undead?
I should note that, nobody's going to be able to hear or see you casting without a telescope at the ranges you're at. But
No, mine are more melee attack spells.
actually, by the way, this is probably not the actual formation you guys are in.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
you
more-
could. Now you could probably rearrange the ships. I just wanted to see. So we have 7. We have 4 that are an issue, and then we have 3 more that are on our side.
Well, the Pride has to be towed, so he's kind of at the mercy of everybody
Well,
else.
We established-
Actually, no. By this time, because the Pride's crew and the Satisfaction's crew would have been on the 2, they would have probably transferred crew back because there's enough numbers to go around.
Now, the Satisfaction's keeping their crew because their ship works, and none of them give a fuck about him.
No, in the original combat encounter, how they got those 2 frigates, that was mostly the Satisfaction and Pride crews that took those. So there's Satisfaction and Pride crew on
these
those
two.
2 ships, and they're overcrewed right now, so they could actually move people back.
Yeah, but they have their own ships.
The problem with it being a pirate crew is that that pirate captain has to convince people to come back to the smaller ship.
And
Correct.
they're not. Okay, so they're swayed against him then.
Well,
Yeah, but
they're swayed against
They're not
him.
necessarily against him, but if he tries to make them come back to his ship they don't really have a lot of incentive. They have their own stuff.
Well,
they
he is
make more
still-
money.
He's responsible for them getting paid, though.
He is most certainly not responsible for them getting paid. A hold full of treasure is what's responsible for them getting paid.
Ah. So they've
Yeah,
they've
our
already been paid,
problem
basically.
here is it just says the 2 captains. So we send
No,
over
the
the
loot is still all on the treasure galleons unless somebody's trying to move it.
we just send over the army of the undead and take care of the captains.
We don't have the army of the undead, Hayes. Spectre's not here.
But we have
The
plenty
one
of
person
people,
that's
and
controlling
in the cover of calling a conference, we could easily get all the captains on board the executor, or we simply take them.
Prisonize them.
I suppose we could do something rational after the burning of Havana.
I mean, if the admiral doesn't want them on his ship when they do that, I have no problem with them being on the diplomat.
Really named for the situation.
Diplomat.
Yeah, let's invite them over, and then they're gonna have an accident, and then we're just gonna go to Port Royal.
Hey, Hayes, we're not accidenting them. We are holding them
Only if they
hostage.
resist. We are arresting them, and if they resist, well, shit happens.
Yeah, didn't
I
they
can
come
handle
down in your
that.
subjects
But
exam has?
they could be spreading rumors about us that we didn't, treat them fairly. We don't want our reputation sullied.
Wait,
I
you
could
know
give
what?
two shits about my reputation.
You know,
Hayes, I'm a known pirate. Like,
am too.
what reputation?
I'm also a known pirate. They will literally hang me on sight.
Like, the whole point that we're at least that I'm considering going to the British is because it gives us a safe harbor. If the British
Yeah, no,
give us a
I'd
letter
say
of
we go
marque,
to
it
British,
legitimizes us.
Yeah,
Well, we have to deal with these renegades first.
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Hence my plan of, I agree with the Admiral, let's just invite them to the Executors. It's a nice, big, open ship, and we arrest them.
For discussing the distribution of the wealth, and then they don't get their share. They get iron shackles instead.
Right, and then we take the whole flotilla to Port Royal, to the prize courts, and, we get paid based on that. We'll
Yeah.
keep some of the ships for ourselves, obviously. But probably the 2 brigs and stuff we're not going to want to bother keeping. I don't know if you would rather have a.
We'll let you know anything you bring with you is from a legal standpoint he has to submit. So if you are not going to turn it in, you probably want to leave it somewhere before heading to port.
Oh, AGR, I just thought of something.
So we
Spooky's
just
ship should have not been rolled because he looted specific items, so he wouldn't have
What shouldn't
a
have been rolled?
religious leader. The Than Spooky. He wouldn't have a religious leader. He might have an ancient tome, but he wouldn't have a religious leader at 8 crates of ash. He would have gold value items because he was looting and loading that ship.
You know what? That's true. Just give him 2 slots full of silver, because I think that's probably the value. Because the church was full of that stuff. It's full of
Okay.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
No problem. I just updated it.
so we already have the plan where we're doing the caps, but then what AJR said, we could just sail in all the ships that we want to put to auction and just leave everything else a little bit of ways.
That does have some downsides because you're leaving your stuff, and you might have to split your forces to protect it.
Actually, it does make sense he'd have a
The
religious
admiral's
leader.
pretty confident that if we manage to convince them to come aboard at the same time, if they're foolish enough to do that, the arrest will be easy.
Well, let's just
We're
get that
trying-
part done first, then.
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna
doing that
arrest them.
regardless. We're doing that regardless. Because either
Under
way,
the
that helps
guise.
us.
We're talking about splitting shares, so of course they would. Yeah, we'll come over and discuss what the split is. So that's the first thing we're gonna do.
Yeah, like we all go to his ship. Like all the ships send the current captain to the executor for the loot conference.
Do we
You cut out.
We heard.
He got abducted.
What year is it?
AGR?
Yes.
You cut out. We did not hear you.
I said, do you have a name for the voodoo brigantine?
The Voodoo?
Sent, do you have a name for your ship yet, or no?
No.
I've come up with a better name for my ship.
Well, it's not. It's not your ship.
No,
It's
he's
my
at
ship.
his ship.
He has a ship.
Well, I know.
Is
I'd
now.
like to note, you're welcome to be on the San Juan, but they're probably keeping all of the treasure ships kind of in the center of the group for the sake of, making it harder
Protection.
for somebody to fuck
It's
everything
the
up for everybody.
rising sun.
Fucking
That's because we have
closet
this.
weeb. My God, Hayes, you are an absolute closet weeb.
He's
but
not
that's
even.
because-
Not only is he a closet weeb,
Hey,
he is an open, out and proud too.
the rising sun was actually a pirate ship, captained by Christopher Moody, and it had 35 guns. Fuck you,
Yeah,
bitch.
Hayes, you're a weeb though. We absolutely know what you meant by it.
Yeah.
No, it's a cool name. It's a good
Hayes,
song.
I wouldn't be surprised
House of
if
the
you have a
Rising
suit
Sun?
of samurai armor inside of your closet.
I mean, I'm wearing it right now. I don't know
Yeah.
why
He
you
has that
think
really
really
differently.
fucking
To be honest with
stupid-looking
you,
anime profile
Anyway,
picture that looks like a piece
anyway.
of steak.
Thunderchild.
I like that. Oh, you
What
should
is
have called it
this?
Voodoo Child.
Is this Mad Max?
No, it's not Mad Max.
You should call it Voodoo Child.
Okay, Voodoo Child.
AGR, what year is it?
2024.
It's not. It's fictional year 17.
Good one.
Okay, how do you spell the
A.
Just like that.
C.
Exactly how it sounds.
Phlegm.
Nobody can spell. Do I need to rename all the ships to prove that?
This is before they invented the dictionary.
All right, so we get the captains over. Let's do it.
This is the era where people decided that words
Okay,
like color
whoever's
and
going to
armor
try to
should
do
have
the
to be-
convincing, you will need to go to the captain on their vessel and convince them to go to the executor. So I'll need a presence roll from whoever is
Ooh, I'll do the convincing.
Sure.
got a
Voodoo
plus
can.
4?
Well, that's pretty good. Can Voodoo? Can you beat that?
Beat what?
+4.
Plus 4.
Yeah, I got +6.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
Present
Yeah.
does beat that. Yeah.
Voodoo is the diplomat's diplomat.
For like 3 rolls now, I've constantly kept the +6 presence. It's been great. So how many
That's
rolls do I need to make?
You might not want to level up anymore. You just make one presence roll per ship.
All right, how many ships are we talking about?
You're only trying to convince the 2 captains, I assume.
All right, so 2.
Yep, two 2d20s, 6.
Yeah.
Handedly convince them.
They both get on the launch with you and head without a single second thought to the executor.
Row,
Literally,
yeah.
the moment you get up the ladder and climb aboard, they are both arrested. They dislike this.
Well, that sounds like a them problem, not a me problem.
Yeah, really.
They're my favorite kind of subordinates.
Within about 10 minutes, a launch full of Marines goes over to the Pride and arrests everyone there.
And they just let it happen?
Well,
They're allies.
yeah, pretty much. It's a situation where the Pride is empty. There are 2 slow vessels towing it that are under the guns of the executor. So they're unlikely to do anything about it. The Satisfaction probably attempts to run. But but they're not gonna be happy because they're gonna be poor. They get no loot.
And they lost their captain. So there's going to be a lot of squabbling on that crew.
Perfect. We can hunt them down and kill them later.
These guys are my favorite kind of subordinates. Smart enough to be competent and dumb enough to do exactly what we tell them to without asking any questions.
I mean, I could have
So,
went with Voodoo and
based
just
on this
stayed on the
positioning,
satisfaction.
the crews of the Santa Clara and the San Pedro are kind of under the guns of the Executor, and the Marines are already over there, so I think they just arrest all of them. I don't
Okay.
really think there's going to be some gunfire, so roll me 2d6, and then roll me 2d6, and then roll me 2d6.
Burger, you haven't done any rolling yet.
How many pairs of 2d6 was that?
3.
8, 3, and 10.
Okay, so the Executor loses 8 Marines in the scuffle. The Santa Clara loses 3, and the San Pedro loses 10.
That sucks for the San Pedro.
Were any of them close to a manpower shortage?
Oh,
The
yeah.
San Pedro is no longer combat effective.
Can I get to the San Pedro quick enough for Death Ward?
No, these are hostiles. Don't ward them.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought these were our guys that we were losing.
No, they were our guys. We are now betraying them.
Yeah.
No, it's a unilateral reduction of the crew force.
They're Marines, and that just means more shares for us. Don't save anybody.
Look, we knew we couldn't trust them for our great Commodore's plans, so we're simply getting rid of the people who aren't part of the Lodge of Pirates.
We did
And under
betray
that's
them.
36 less shares now.
You have 21 pirate hostages.
Actually,
not counting the 2 captains.
57 less shares.
We didn't betray them.
And then
the
2 less
deal was
captain
simply
shares.
No, you've all seen Goodfellas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jimmy was cutting everybody who could link him between him and the robbery. Just like that.
And then the instrumental version of Layla.
Yeah. Love that movie.
Okay, so they're having bad times. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, my ship would kind of be coming up along the other side from the formation of them. Other side of the freight.
Other side of the freight.
Other side of the freight. The freight would be between me and the Executor. And, we'd be basically pointing the small arms at that ship, being like, you're, like, not at the San Pedro, but at the other one. The one that still has effective people in it, the Santa Clara. And, yeah, we'd be like, yeah, you will surrender now, or I'm going to clear your decks for you.
Oh, they are not a problem at this
Okay.
point. They are all being ushered below decks by Marines.
Can I raise the dead bones from their ships?
I mean, you can raise 2 thralls.
I have level 3.
Oh, you can raise 3 thralls.
Well,
No,
it's
you can
T2
raise,
plus 2.
Okay, then
D2
you can do
plus 2.
that.
So you can raise 3 or 4 thralls.
Hayes, they go away at dawn, right?
I don't care. I get 3.
Okay. The Marines don't like that. Yeah, they go, ah, and then they start firing into the undead.
That's not very nice.
Do I need to
Yeah.
roll the combat, or do they just?
They don't raise undead around NPCs.
Can I
man.
raise the dead after they leave?
Well, they kind of have to stay here because there's prisoners aboard.
They're running
Just
the ship.
throw the
Hayes.
bodies in your long ship, Hayes, and get back to your ship with them.
I do that.
Okay.
Just tell them you're clearing the deck of the dead for them.
I'm not
so
going
they
to
don't
make you
worry
roll
about it.
again.
I
You
take
just-
all the dead bodies.
That's okay. How many people died? A lot, right?
I want them all.
21 people died.
Multiple trips.
They don't. They
We have
don't let
several.
you
We
take
have,
the
we have like a
Marines.
couple of days, right?
You can only
Okay,
take
so yeah,
13.
you get 13 corpses then.
All right.
How many
Um,
of our guys died?
None.
So, the Admiral is going to advise now that most of the complications have been cleared and he can speak a little bit more freely without risk of anything, catching. He's going to say, so we'll deliver these treasure galleons to the prize court. If there is anything of particular value that you don't wish them to see, you could probably get away with taking a little off the top and stowing it.
Wait, is this taking all the galleons mean they're going to sell our galleons?
Yes, if you bring them.
We're not bringing my galleon.
Well, here's the thing, though. We don't. Do you really want a galleon, or would you prefer a frigate?
I want a galleon.
I will tell you, the money, the money from this is pretty much enough. If you didn't have to deal with the bullshit of trying to offload all this stuff somewhere, just the cash value is probably enough to go ahead and get yourself a ship of the line, and arm it and crew it.
I like
That's
that.
all, but it would cost you pretty much everything here. So
Oh, no. No, we can't do that.
Yeah, we're not going to pull from shares.
Well, it's also we're one big ship or many medium-sized ships. Many medium-sized ships will win.
absolutely.
Like, if we really wanted to push the point, we could probably take the Executor at this point.
It is
Not in our current condition. If we were all full health, yes.
so. I can definitely see ways that you could do it through shrewd use of tactics. You don't have the pure manpower for it, but I think with one or two clever moves,
Well,
yes, you could.
How much would a new galleon
Do you guys want me to
be?
put a plan together?
No.
Havana worked. I could put something together to get the Executor.
How much would a new galleon be?
We don't need a new galleon.
Did you say whenever we
Why
take
do
it,
you
we
want a
have to sell?
galleon so badly?
Well, one of them is a
Because it's
design
a
that's
fucking
state of the
Theodore, I
art,
told
and
you.
the other is a design that is older, and they're meant for very different things.
Okay. Let's say to the Admiral, actually talk with Commander Hook first. He can have 2 of the galleons and most of the political, for his political stunt. We're going to keep 2 galleons for our fleet, the state-of-the-art one, and then one of the other ones we don't care. And then he can have all the political treasure, or political
No, I meant the
prisoners he
Executor
wants.
or a ship of the line is state of the art. The galleons are
Oh,
an
gotcha.
older design. They're
Gotcha.
galleons.
Okay.
Right. This is why I'm confused
That
about
way.
why Hayes is so fixated on the galleon.
Because it's
I mean,
got
they're
the
pretty.
word galleon.
Because it's big and he has a small dick.
He's fixated on galleon because galleon is galleon.
That's fair. It is.
Okay. We keep 2 galleons. They get 2 galleons with the prisoners and a good chunk of the treasure that they'd actually want for taxation and stuff like that. We keep our equal shares of the treasure that we would have gotten on our galleons, and he can have 2 to parade through the British ports saying we captured this shit. If anybody wants to go get marks, they can. I could care less. I don't want a mark. I'm a British pirate. I don't need a British mark. I don't work for the government. That's my stance on it. But I'm having this conversation with our captains, not with the admiral.
Okay.
I'm in this for high seas terrorism.
We know.
Havana
You could care less
was
about the
the
marks
point.
too.
I was a regular terrorist before I started doing this, and I am wanted by the British government.
Yup. Havana was sacked for the purposes of sacking Havana.
I
I
mean,
don't-
the British are going to be pretty happy about you screwing over the Spanish. The only way that this could have looked better for you guys, regardless of your reputation, the only way this could have looked better is if you burned down a French port.
That's the
The
only
only
other
thing.
port that lets us dock.
So,
We're not burning Tortuga.
But the British would have loved you.
That's what-
They're still going to love you, just not as much.
so that's what I'm saying. We send whatever we don't want with the admiral to, and then we deal with everything else ourselves.
Okay, stuff on the left is going to go to the port. Now, the ships you're commanding at the time you arrive, technically speaking, anything that was gained in the battle is a prize. So it is. You probably don't want to take any vessels you gained during the fight, like that you want to keep.
That's
You
like
had it
all but two of
beforehand,
them.
like the sitting Dutch, you had before the fight, right? The admiral's log of the fight is going to state as such, right? So any vessels you had beforehand, and he's you might be able to convince him to adjust his log if there's something specific you want in it.
He keeps a couple extra spaces between each entry should he ever need to
This
pad
kind of
out the order
bookkeeping
of
is
battle.
not uncommon in the Navy.
But then why don't we bribe him and convince him to change the log to say we brought in the ships we want to keep?
Because I have a feeling rolling in Hayes with a Spanish galleon that you've got such a boner for keeping is going to have the British looking at that closer than we want to, because they'll see.
But I'm a Spanish captain. I'm a Spanish pirate captain.
That doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's a galleon.
If you defected and brought the vessel, then that's still a prize.
Hayes, what is with you and the galleon? Seriously.
These ships would all go to auction, so you would get paid for them, but also you would have to buy it back if you wanted it.
That's why I'm saying we part ways here. Send him with his 2 prize galleons, and we're going to keep the other ones.
Yeah, I'm liking the sound of that.
And then we'll split the treasure. I mean, Under has the better numbers for where the splits are right now, and then put a rough, value on the political prisoners, the value of the galleons he's keeping, and then obviously his crew still needs to get paid, but they might get a smaller portion than the number that we originally came up with. And also, there's less crew to split between because there's a bunch of prisoners now and a bunch of people left.
Right. So what I would propose then is, the admiral gets 2 treasure galleons. They took the frigate themselves.
Yeah, they can have those too. Like, we don't really
Mix up there. So they have those. They have the Pride. The other one got away. The other ships are ours, and they'll be going with us.
Okay. I don't think the admiral's going to have any issue with that.
Yeah. So he gets to parade,
Based on
2
your
Spanish
previous-
frigates.
Yep. 2 Spanish frigates, 2 treasure
this will
galleons.
definitely look like he successfully took the treasure fleet. However, while he can try to get you guys letters of marque here, there are some complications, right? Because you're not going to have. You're unlikely to know where these end up. You won't be able to see them get auctioned. You won't be able to bid on them.
Yeah. Forget the letters of marque.
We don't want them.
You won't get a cut out of these if you don't go.
Right. What our proposal is, we'll redistribute the cargo, the easily portable cargo between the galleons, so that each of us, our group and his group, have roughly equal value. And then his group is his, our group is ours. we don't worry about splitting cross groups.
Then he can use whatever amount of the gold he wants as this was on the ship, and then whatever amount of the gold he wants for
Right.
his crew, and we have our own pool that we pull from separately.
Right. And then he deals with his things under his rules. We deal with our things under our rules, and.
But you're saying he takes the cut of those ships off our loot.
What I'm saying, Hayes, is we split the loot here and we go our separate ways. And how we split the loot, how the loot is further divided in each of those halves, is dependent on that group. So in his case, he takes it all to the prize court and pays them out. That's fine. We head to Tortuga, and we cash people out like pirate shares.
And then the ships that he's taking we're including in the total now of the value.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's getting value for them from the auction that he's gonna,
that's what
probably distribute amongst his crew a little bit.
Yeah.
So our pile will be ever so slightly larger, but his pile will be of equal value just because the ships aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would propose to the Admiral that we count the hostages, because we have 5 important hostages. We count them as equivalent to 3,000 silver each.
That sounds good to me.
And, he can have the prisoners because they obviously have much more political worth to him than the 3,000 silver, but we get that much extra treasure out of his galleons to level them out.
He just has to convince his crew. That's the biggest issue he's going to have.
That's his problem.
Which, at this moment,
how much
only
treasure
been a conversation.
was on these 2 vessels? How much treasure was on these 2 vessels?
So the Santa Margarita had 25k in loose currency and 2 hostages. The other one, the Urca de Lima, had 31,100 currency and 2 hostages.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. And how about these 2?
The San Juan had 17k with 1 hostage, and Spooky Galleon had 45k, no hostages.
I have to adjust that on mine because I didn't put the extra silver. That extra silver that he looted from the church. Which, it's funny because I was looking at it as like, he looted the church, he also looted a religious leader while he was there on accident. Because that was on the Spooky Galleon.
It was, but we replaced it with actual loot. No hostages.
No, he said
on
in addition. He said in addition.
No, he didn't.
That's... What in addition? Sorry?
When Spectre was looting the Havana to fill up the treasure galleon, because we rolled a hostage, we said he wouldn't have actually taken a hostage, he would have grabbed loot instead. And you said, yeah, just give him the silver, the 5,000 silver instead. So that's what I marked down.
Yeah. Does Spectre seem like the sort to take hostages anyway?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So does our proposal seem plausible to the Admiralty?
So what his main concern is he doesn't want to show up with all these ships and empty holds. So if you're splitting the loot 50-50 gold-wise, counting the hostages as gold value, the holds are still going to look pretty full. So he's not really concerned.
That is our proposal.
Too many people would ask questions if he was going in with a bunch of ships and no loot in them. So that seems totally agreeable to him.
All right, we have the plan.
Okay. And is he okay with us valuing the hostages at 3,000 per head?
He is very thankful, and while he does think that's an overestimation for several of them, it is not so much so that he is going to argue the point.
Okay.
I mean, if he says they're not worth that much, we can just do 2,000 to make it easier.
No.
No.
This is why you're not invited to the negotiation part.
Here's my question. What if he just said no?
He didn't. Shut up.
Well, then things would have gone badly.
Okay.
But you see, we're all friends. We've been friendly with him, and by continuing to be friendly and fair with him, we basically end up with this British admiral, kind of as someone that if we run into on the high seas, is if we're in trouble, will likely render us aid, and also won't do things like chase us down and sink us because we're dirty pirates. As long as he can get away with it.
Exactly.
In return, he probably expects that if we find his ship leading like British treasure galleons, we won't attack that convoy. We'll attack a different British convoy. So he used to be the guys that run through the pirate-infested waters without fear of us. You know,
He's getting a desk job now. He's getting a promotion.
Well, he's already the port admiral. He only took the ship out of port because he was in legal trouble, and if he actually stepped foot on land, he would have been arrested.
Yes, he's going
But
back
now
to
he's
his
coming
desk
back
job.
with.
So
I'm in good
now
graces
he
'cause
can
I
go
did
back to
this.
his desk job with all this loot. He's going to pay some people off, and all the cloud is going to help quite a bit, and he is probably going to be in a much better position. So yes, he's perfectly happy. He's going to let you guys know. He is going to submit for anyone who would like a letter of marque to get one. He will need some personal information, and somebody, not necessarily one of you, but somebody will have to check in at the port from time to time to see the status, because it is not an overnight thing.
Yeah, we can pop in every once in a while to see if the marks are ready. Just have a ship sail over there real quick while we're floating around.
He would also advise you to exercise caution, because until they are approved, you are even more notorious pirates than before.
What? Really?
They consider us pirates? Really?
Oh, fuck. I've just been nailing the sweet and salty mix. Holy shit.
Oh, AGR question. Those 2 slots that we replaced on the spooky, I just put artifacts in there. Is that okay?
That's totally fine. By the way, they have the 4,000 silver value, but you are welcome to roll artifacts if you prefer. That's entirely up to you. But if you're picking the like magic items, they might be harder to sell. You already have a bunch. You might not want to do that.
Yeah, we'll just keep the gold value. It'd be simpler and straightforward. Hunter, did you catch that before you did all your math?
I did not.
Okay. The sand spooky's worth 43.
How are you figuring that?
The relics are worth 4,000 each. There's 2 of them to replace the ash and the religious figure.
The relics are worth 4,000.
Yes.
Right.
And there's 2 of them. One to replace the religious leader, one to replace the crates of ash. Because he wouldn't have looted crates of ash.
I thought you just said grab silver, so I just did a raw silver ore for those.
Things, yeah, the 2 things you guys replaced, were supposed to be silver. The other ones are fine. You can just keep those. Literally, just add the 10 for the 2 silver and call it a day.
Oh, okay, then it'd be 45.
Yeah. So with the split. Yeah, I don't like how you type that up. So, yeah, with the split, this is how the individual ships would be worth after we adjust everything. Each group is basically getting 71,100 silver in value. No, wait, I did that wrong. How the fuck did that end up that way? Ugh.
Take your time.
Math is fun.
That's why I'm making you do it. Mathematically, this is great for you guys. It's a huge boon not to be splitting. Like, yes, it's half as much money, but you're not splitting it with 150 sailors.
Mm-hmm. Their splits are going to be a lot smaller. Our splits are going to be a lot larger, but we're splitting it 50-50 now.
Okay. Updated value. All right. And so that means that the left two, the Santa Margarita and the Urca, cash value 51,550, 15,000 silver and hostages. Total 66,550. Our stuff just 66,550. I assume the books are worthless.
Well, not to you, but yes.
Not to us, but to him.
Yeah, he does not want those. As a matter of fact, he would probably just burn them if they stayed.
Right. So yeah, so that's basically the amount of currency value, and then we basically go our separate ways from this point on. Is there anybody else who wants to say anything about this before we split off?
Did we do assumed values for the ships that he's taking as well? Because he's going to get money for auctioning them.
We did not.
That's more money for us.
Yeah. When they how to value that though? That's the question. Because again, we don't
valuing the letter of marque.
There is value to the letter of marque. Yeah, I would say the letters of marque I would say would qualify then for those two frigates.
Yeah,
and the brig. Yeah, and that way we can just ignore the ship values.
Yeah, that works. I forgot about the letter of marques. Yeah, they do have value. Good point.
Fucking hope they have value.
Well, the British like to think so. All right, then I think we split off there then. And wish him well on his journey.
So be it.
Tortuga.
Yes.
His journey happens to be short because I put you guys on the Port Royal map.
He's already home. We've just been sitting right off harbor. What are all them ships out there doing?
All right. And then we've got our little flotilla here that we're going to take to Tortuga. Yeah, then I just need a total crew number.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the ships one at a time, and I'm just going to
that works.
Move them off.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So the Jackass has 3. The Voodoo Child has 20.
This is the crew?
Yes.
Oh, don't count, remember, don't count the skeletons.
The spooky one, yeah, I know.
Yeah, we won't. What's Mischief? You didn't say.
Mischiefs has 3. Sitting Dutch has 11. Rising Sun is empty. You'll probably need to move some people around. And then the Diplomat has 54.
Okay. So that means our entire flotilla only has 91 enlisted, and then us 8 captains. So, given the typical share rata...
Under?
What's up?
The Mischief has me and 2 crew members on it. That's the 3.
Okay, so 0. Or 2, sorry.
2. Okay, that's fine. We haven't been counting the captains as part of the crew.
That's the only reason we were able to do anything with the Mischief.
Fair enough. All right, 90.
Purely because it was to meet the minimum.
Yep. All right, 90. So, with the 6,550 silver to split, that is 584 silver per share. So each crew member that returns with us gets 584 silver. Each of the PCs gets 1,751 silver.
That was 1751.
1751.
So now we gotta go to Tortuga and recrew and repair?
Yeah. Now, the repair actually can repair ships up to half their HP. Can we just assume that eventually we would be able to repair all of our ships up to at least that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think the Mischief's Bounty is the only one that's below that.
Yep. Which, yeah, that was literally what I was just gonna bring up. I was like, I'm a shipwright. I'd like to fix my ship while we're going, so it's not almost dead.
No.
He said we have to move some crew around or tow some stuff, though.
Yeah. We shouldn't have any issues getting to Tortuga, right?
I haven't calculated your travel times for any of this. We'll worry about that later. There's enough calculation going on. But I believe you make it to Tortuga probably pretty successfully, yes.
Welcome to Math Hammer.
Okay. Yeah, and I think we would pay out our crews, turn them loose.
Okay, and which vessels are being sold, if any?
I don't think there's any that we're intending to sell.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I really would wish Spectre was here, because I don't know if he wanted to keep that galleon.
Well, if he doesn't, I can captain it, and we'll keep the Mischief's Bounty as like an escape vessel. But regardless, still wouldn't sell it.
How many?
Well, we have 7 ships.
I don't have a crew on mine unless y'all recruit it.
Which one's yours? The Jackass?
Yeah, his was the Dogfish.
No, that's mine.
Somebody
okay.
took that over. While
Yeah,
he
that was
gone,
Pete.
because it was empty.
Yeah,
Guys,
everybody.
you
died
lose, you lose.
and-
Guys,
You weren't
so
here
we-
last session, so Pete was
yeah, I wasn't here. The last
piloting it.
session I was here,
His ship now.
me and Gilbert were stuck on the ship by ourselves, and
Our,
everything else we could do.
Yes,
That's,
and we somehow made it off. Don't question how.
That's Captain Lobster Legs in charge now.
Okay. So I told Spectre, hey, do you want to sell the ship? We're selling them now. But also I'm going to tell him if you don't respond, we'll hold on to it.
Yeah, we can always sell it later.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, there is value in having, a couple of heavy ships and then lighter ships to help capture ships.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
how-
Diplomat is actually a pretty heavy frigate too.
Yeah, the Diplomat's a man of war. It's a little slow, but it's it's just one step down from a ship of the line.
How do we repair ships?
Now, I didn't remember this while we were rolling, and I'm not changing anything. But Spook actually didn't steal a treasure galleon; he stole a regular galleon.
What's the difference?
Didn't have treasure on it.
One of them was from the treasure
little
fleet, and
slower.
the rest were not. So we're not going to worry about it. I guess they had too much. They commandeered. They probably were like, "We have too much loot that we need to take back. We're going to purchase this galleon and fill it with loot to send home."
That makes sense.
So they just bought it out from under a merchant, and then Spook was like, "Hey, free real estate."
Yeah.
It was sitting empty. Finders keepers.
So, how do we... we're in Tortuga now?
Yes.
How do we repair ships? How does that work?
I'll be back
Silver over
momentarily.
time. silver over time.
Well, we have 8
wanna
PCs
roll
and
your
7 ships,
rituals?
so if we spend our money buying one ship, we'll have enough for each person to have their own.
Yeah, Hayes, roll 4d20 for your. Is it d20 for rituals?
Yes.
Roll 4d20.
Well, yeah, you got that
Yeah.
book with 4 rituals in it.
So we're all gonna have our own ships.
We could, is what I'm saying.
I
Right now,
Okay.
we're one short of that many.
I don't need my own ship.
Okay, so that's
Why are they
the first
Roman
result
numeral?
is reopen the grave, which you probably won, Hayes.
What is that?
It's you summon D2 plus spirit zombies or skeletons, and they are under your control. There is no time limit. They don't die.
Yeah. I want that.
Okay. I think you should probably share the rest of these.
Yeah. I want that one. That one's
I don't
He
have
only
to be-
wanted the first
I don't
one.
have to be a captain if you don't want
So-
me to be.
The second one is Curse of the Drowned. For D6 rounds, a creature gets +4 to all DRs, and is DR -4 to defend against. So that's spooky.
Can someone paste what mine was?
Sounds
I'm
really
typing them all out.
Much better in combat for D6 rounds. Very scary. Any takers?
I'll take it.
Hey, you can have it. I don't want that one.
It's a
Okay,
Yep.
5 would be Eldritch Tentacles. They appear, they attack up to D6 creatures of your choice, and they take D6 damage each.
Wow. Okay.
I have that one. It's pretty good.
All right.
Who else wants it?
That should go to a melee person.
I'm not a melee person. I'm a rifleman. I'm a sniper.
And
The
these
only
are
melee person here is me, and I don't want it.
These are sorcerer things,
I'm
right?
I'm melee as well.
They're
I have it.
rituals.
Spectre might want it.
Yeah, save it for Spectre. I don't want it because
Okay.
I'm bad at rituals.
Okay. Spectre can have it. 19. The
Nope.
Black Spot.
Ugh.
This is a
Dude, I love
Man.
that name.
name a human you have met. They must test DR12 or they will die within a D8 days.
Wait, how often can you use that?
So
It's an arcane ritual. You can use it as often as you can use any other.
That sounds pretty cool.
and you can cast your spirit plus a d4 rituals per day. Like every day you just roll the d4, and that's how many rituals you can do that day.
I mean, I've got good spirit.
What's your spirit?
+5.
That's better.
You should consider very carefully who is getting the black spot because it is very powerful. And you might want to make sure you're here if you have it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna take it.
Yeah, I don't want rituals because I have a very bad spirit.
Same.
I got a +4.
I'll take the black spot. Unless you want it, Hayes.
No,
I
he
I already
has.
have rituals. I don't need it. I'll take it if nobody wants to grab it.
It's a good thing to have, though.
So Hayes, so you have 2 rituals?
I don't care. Got the one thing I wanted.
Well, you can also have the black spot.
Yeah, you should probably get it. You'll probably be here all the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
you probably will. Okay, I guess you learned the black spot.
All right, I've added it to my inventory. And then the other 2, Spectre can roll when he shows up. Those are for him.
Yep.
His book he stole from the church.
Honestly, since he wasn't here and no one took the other one, I think I'm just gonna let him roll 3 times.
Okay.
What did you say the name
Works
of
for
my
me.
ship was?
Whatever
Right
you
now,
want. Oh, it's the
Right
lobster.
now,
lane.
you don't have one.
Hey, you
Right
don't have
now,
a ship.
yeah, it
I
got
don't have
renamed
one?
by Lobster Legs.
Yeah, that's mine now.
Okay.
Yeah, you passed out drunk at the helm, and
And yeah, you're with pirates, so they just were like, yeah, I'm the captain now.
Well, no,
Yeah.
see, you were on my ship, right? And then you took this other ship,
Hey, which one
And-
did I take?
the Jackass, which is now mine.
Oh, no, that's not the shirt I had the dogfish.
Yeah, which is now the Jackass. I renamed it
he's the captain.
because I'm the captain.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's cool. Well, then I'll be the chef on the Commodore ship then.
He's gone. You could be my chef.
No, I'm the Commodore.
That's what I'm saying. On the
Oh.
main ship, I am a chef.
Why'd someone call you commander then?
Because they misread the abbreviation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Commodore.
Yeah, the commander.
But my hat's cooler.
Yeah, but I have the buckhand cook, so I know how to cook.
So do we start repairing all of our ships then?
So that's where I'll be. I'll be on your ship under as your
Okay.
chef.
Start the process of that and hiring new crews.
Yeah, we
Well,
should
we
do
got
that.
some nice word of mouth advertising walking around with pockets full of silver right now, so figured we wait a couple of days and then start recruiting because we're going to have to spend a bunch of time repairing our ships.
Hey, what was the amount of gold that we each got?
1751.
All right, thank you. Forgot to mark that down.
Hey, Ejar, what's the current HP of the diplomat?
Repairs are 25 silver per HP you're trying to regain. Now you do have some skilled carpenters, but this is a lot of vessels. I'm not giving you anything for free, but I will say, with the help of your carpenter and his compatriots, we can knock that down from 25 to 15 per HP
Okay.
for the fleet.
It's what?
My
per what?
British carpenters I recruited.
Correct.
It was what again? What was the numbers?
If you're trying to heal, every HP you regain costs you 15 silver.
I have some healing if we need it.
Are we just repairing out of our own funds then?
It's your ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going
Oh,
to
right,
start.
healing ships.
We don't have a party fund.
You want me to start on the left or the right?
You are on the right,
I
so
already
I'm
did
ready.
the math.
Okay.
So 27 hit points, 15 silver, so it's 405 silver to repair all of it. Takes 14 days.
Okay, 14 days. All right.
Mine's 22. 22. It's 330. I don't know the days. No one told me that.
Okay, we'll say that's probably less than the 14. That's fine. Galleon doesn't need to be repaired. Sitting Dutch.
Do we have somebody commanding that right now?
We did. I left someone behind when I went.
Hayes.
Yeah, I
He
left.
jumped on the galleon, though.
Yeah, he onto the galleon.
Oh,
Hey, Mister
Mister.
could take that ship.
Yeah, Mister could have the sitting Dutch then, if he wants it. If he wants a ship to command.
Nah, I'm cool without a ship. I'm not here that I may not be here as much, so yeah, I'm fine.
Then who else doesn't have a ship? Burger.
I'm probably here the least.
That's fine,
Well, I
but
just need you to have it right now.
Sure, I'll take it.
okay.
28 times.
So 19 times 15.
minus-
Yeah, 19 times 15.
So it would be 285.
Okay, mark it off.
Uh,
Mischief's bounty.
150 already did it.
Voodoo Child.
All right,
You
so we
need
need
7.
7. And how much per HP?
15.
Roger that. All right, 105 ain't bad.
Okay. And then you need 12 on the Jackass.
Indeed.
Okay, so it's 14 days to repair the Diplomat, and that might have been the largest number, but they can't repair 7 ships at once. The harbor can't deal with that capacity. So while you guys wait, it probably takes about 45 days to do all these vessels.
All right. Could we get the missions bounty done in a little earlier? I'll sail over to the British port and see if some of the marks are done.
Okay. You can certainly do that. I will tell you that it is it has all been submitted, but it has to go across the sea. So it is going to be considerably longer.
Yeah, I was just making sure that first part was taken care of. You know, it being submitted, and we know that it's been submitted. So yeah, also back to Tortuga then.
That's very good. The admiral notes that he hopes that they are done before the year is out, because he would love to invite you all to his wedding.
Oh, and
Oh, very
yeah,
nice.
since I actually see and meet the admiral, I'll ask him. So how did it go when you got here? You know, and then when I get back, I'll fill all that into the party.
Well, when you see him, he's on land, so
He has some new medals
And not-
on his
Yeah,
chest.
but I want the deets.
Not in irons.
you would probably see him. After asking around, you'd find him at the governor's house. And yeah, you would like a servant would come in and collect him. He'd head out the gate and meet you out in front of the building. And yeah, he's probably pretty chipper. He's happy.
Is he the governor?
He is not the governor. He is courting the governor's daughter.
Ah, the governor's daughter. That movie. What?
Yeah, we tried to sell him some whale bones, but he was too broke to buy them. So we made a deal.
Ain't broke
He
anymore.
is
Yeah.
broke no longer, and things seem to be on the up.
Yeah, that is until his fiancée runs away with a blacksmith's apprentice and a disgraced pirate.
Yeah, well, that's his problem, not our problem. I mean,
I
unless he
was a
wants to pay
disgraced
us.
pirate.
I mean, does a carpenter's apprentice count? But I'm not really an apprentice anymore.
Well, you would have to meet the daughter first, and she's in the building, and you're not allowed in the building.
I'm not even allowed in this port. I'm wanted by the British still, technically.
Yep, it's okay. You can hang out with me.
Yeah, well, I'm the one that went though, but I'm not
Oh.
as notorious as Commodore Hook is, so I can get away with walking around in a British port and not being immediately like, "Hey, isn't that guy?"
Oh, well, I'm glad I'm not famous, or else I wouldn't be able to do that either.
But anyway, yeah. So head back, meet back up with the party.
Absolutely. The admiral even pays your carriage fare.
Oh, how nice of him.
How does the crew work?
You have to go recruiting.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
we have 45 days, so.
And
I
we have a
also
lot
need to do
of word of mouth advertising from all of our crew going around with pockets full of money saying, "Yeah, they're pretty good captains." Because 500 silver is no joke for a commoner to have.
Well, I would say you have 45 days. I think you can get a D6 per day recruiting. So go ahead and roll 45 D6. You can choose how many you're going to keep at the end, and then if you have a bunch left over, that means you got to pick the best of the group, so we might be able to give you some bonus skill.
Nice.
So there are 169 prospects, and you'll have to determine how many you're going to take.
How many? What is my crew?
We can start on the right again or on the left.
Start on the right. Let's go biggest to smallest again.
Well, we need a minimum of 50 for the Man of War.
You already have that.
You're also the highest ranking captain, so you get the most pull for how much crew you want. So I would say you can take as many as you want.
He also gets to choose the best.
You're also welcome to stay longer and recruit more.
We might need to because you can target crew. I would probably want 100 people for the Man of War because it's going to be our primary point contact ship for fighting people.
You want more crew than the max, or is that the max?
The max is 150. I want 100.
Okay.
Is this in addition to our previous crew, AGR?
Oh, I'm sorry. These are new, fresh souls. And
So
your
in addition,
previous crew is happy to rejoin.
Oh,
as
okay,
soon as-
then
because they made a lot of money. By
Yeah.
the way, they're not ready yet to rejoin, but they are all happy to rejoin just as soon as they run out of cash.
sure. yeah. I want in the end. I want around 100 crew on the Diplomat. I don't want 154. I want say I'll grab 50 and have 104 souls on the ship.
Well, I need 7 people for the Jackass. And seeing as I'm the fastest ship we have, I would like them to be the cream of the crop, if possible.
I'm as
We'll have
fast
to
as you,
You'll have to take the leftovers
Wait,
because we're starting
What,
on that.
what ship are you in?
Mr. Bounty.
Oh,
That's speed of 5.
yeah, but that's a what's the Mistress Bounty? It's a
13.
yeah, okay. You're as fast as me, but I'm a little better armed than you. But yeah, I think we should have all the best available crewmen on the 2 front-running ships.
Yeah, our sweep our
The
sweep
Rising
should be some
Sun's
of the
empty,
best sailors.
so I assume you're going to put 30 in it.
Just the minimum.
Well, you have to do that. After that,
You need
Yeah.
30. We'll see where you're at after.
I mean, we can reduce how many are on the Diplomat if we need to. That's the ideal case. What I have right now.
So
And we can also stay
you have
longer
39
recruit.
left. What are you doing? You want to
Wait a
him to
minute.
30?
I have.
No, we have more than 39.
I have.
I'm sorry. It's we only put 50
So
extra on
with
here, not 100.
with putting 50 souls
Like
onto the
8.
Diplomat, 30 onto the Rising Sun, 13 onto the Spooky. That leaves us 76 more to distribute.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because it would have been 26.
Yeah. How many do we need for the Sitting Dutch?
She has good combat
29.
capabilities.
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you 10 is enough to run it.
yeah. Let's just throw 4 more on there, just to give us a little bit of a buffer. There we go. We'll probably add buffers to the Rising Sun and Spooky at this rate.
I'd like full crew.
Yeah, we might as well just throw 6 onto the Mischiefs.
And 7 on the Jackass.
Voodoo Child.
Am I
Voodoo.
keeping track of these numbers?
Give them 10. Yeah, I'm keeping track.
All right, so Voodoo Child's good on crew. What's the maximum crew?
The maximum's 30.
30.
Do you want full
you
crew?
Can
Ah!
double that number with no consequence. Just
without
I mean,
overcrowding.
do we get any do I get any bonuses for getting full crew from where I'm at now?
Well, it's buffer
lot
so that
harder
when
to
people
kill.
shoot your crew,
yeah.
you don't fall out of combat. It's more important for the
So-
smaller ships.
Okay, so since I'm basically good at the moment, if we need to put any crew anywhere else to get the ships operational, we can come back and put the rest of them on mine.
And also,
We have
remember,
plenty
this
of
is
crew.
only-
We have 56 more to distribute with the 2 last ships before to make everything minimum.
Oh, okay, then fill me up then.
Okay, so 10 more to Voodoo.
And this is only after 45 days of recruiting.
Yeah.
We're going to be here longer recruiting.
Jackass,
We'll have
so
more
you need
numbers.
7 for the Jackass?
Yep.
All right, so that leaves us 49 more to distribute.
All right, before we do anything else, you've been in port for 45 days, and carousing and living there is not free.
Okay.
What?
We're pirate kings.
Living isn't for golly. What's
You're
next?
saying there's a cost of living?
What are you going to tell me next, AGR? That, like, the money we have could be exchanged for the goods and
So,
services we've been
A
using?
night at an inn is 4 silver. A night at a brothel is between 50 and 250, depending on how insane you are.
Well, can't we sleep on our ships?
Yeah, but you do have to eat and drink.
Well, of
A
course.
day's rations is 1 silver.
Blackbeard, you're
that's
not
fine.
seriously going to tell me you're going to cheap out while we're in port.
A
mean,
decent
why
meal
would
is
you
The
even
$2
become
whole
a
point of
pirate?
being
Hey, I
pirates.
just spend the most to repair the damn ship, okay? What do you want?
No, you didn't have
You-
to spend the most.
Alright, well, you already had gold. I didn't have any money.
I'm going to spend
that's
all
17
45 days at the 15 silver a night brothel.
You're going to spend 45 days at the 15 silver a night brothel. Okay. Absolutely.
I'll spend a couple nights there. Yeah, I spend
Well,
nights
just
in the
mark off
ship.
the correct amount
I
of
am-
money for what you're doing.
So 45 days to eat is 45 gold. Or silver,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's 45 silver if you're doing the bare minimum and eating boring shipboard food and not enjoying the fact that you're ashore at all.
How much is
Yeah, I'm a
45 silver
cheapskate.
and gold?
What's that?
There's only one currency.
Oh, okay.
It's all silver.
We use silver and gold interchangeably, but the game calls them silver.
Sorry, my mind went to D&D.
Yep.
So, how many crews do we have left? People?
We have 49 more souls to distribute. So
And
we
who's
should...
not full.
You are not full. Spook is not full. We should add some buffers because you're at the minimums for combat effectiveness.
Well, let me ask you this. I can raise some zombies. How does that... Or skeletons.
That's great for shock troops for boarding people, but we're talking about like ship-to-ship combat. Because you can target crew with that. You probably aren't going to lose skeletons. You're probably going to end up losing people who actually know what they're doing.
Let me ask this. Can I have been
Skeletons
during...
don't make good crew.
But can I keep them on my ship? Is there more room?
But yeah, you just keep them in the hold. They don't need beds.
So
That's what Spectre is
during
planning
this
on doing.
45 days, can I have been walking around the island reopening some graves?
That's fine. The ritual, I believe, still involves some die rolls. There is a risk.
Wait, is he using the ritual or the raise dead feature?
Ritual.
The ritual. He has the
Okay.
ritual now.
I gotcha. I was going to say, because if he's thinking he's using the raise dead feature, that's still limited to a day.
No, I got to reopen the grave. So, but all right, so let's finish the crew first. So what? You said
So
my ship's
we have
not full, who
49.
else?
Your ship's not full. Spooks isn't full. The Sitting Dutch could probably use an additional buffer. I would say we should probably put 10 extra souls on Rising Dead and Spooky. So bring them up to 40. Sitting Dutch should probably bring up to 20, so 5 more.
I'd like some more crew.
Well, remember, every crew we bring is an additional share of any loot.
Well, how much do you lose, like in these combats? Because your ships were all pretty low, and I didn't get to see that. So
We went in pretty low. We recruited a bunch of prisoners, so
we came in pretty much at the minimums, and then lost a bunch, recruited a bunch in the prison,
There was a prison break.
and boarded
got away.
enemy ships.
well, how many do we have left?
We have 24 souls more to distribute.
Why don't we just add another 10 to each of the galleons? Make them 50.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that. That leaves us 4 spare, so we can basically drop the 4 shittiest people. I want to be clear that if no one else wants him, that blind guy that always lives, he's on my ship if no one else wants him.
Oh no, he's on my ship.
Okay.
Lucky's on my ship. I have him in my permanent crew.
No, he's on
as
my
William
ship.
Lucky Smith.
No, he's on my ship.
The guy who's blind never dies and whose name keeps changing.
Yeah,
Yes.
the invulnerable suicide bomber.
Oh no, I've had his name written down as William Lucky Smith for
AKA Blind
since we
Bill.
I'll tell you
named
what.
him. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. What was his other name?
Blind Bill. William Lucky
Yeah,
Smith.
we called him Blind Bill.
Okay. So, whenever either one of you turns around and looks for him, you can find him on your ship. You have no fucking idea how he's on both ships.
I love it. He actually has a twin who is just the exact same, equally blind and looks identical.
He doesn't. He doesn't. There's only one
I know.
man.
He's
But-
just that spooky.
Anyway, I will
It's
take
like
the
some
stragglers on the
ancient sea
mischief
god
bounty
that we've picked up by accident.
because we got like what 4 sitting around. So
Yeah,
I can overcrew the mischiefs.
if you want to. Okay.
And then
That'd be all of
yeah.
them
then we don't really need to recruit anymore unless people want more people on their ships. But then again, things about the golds.
Yeah, I don't need to be overcrewed. I think I'm good with full crew.
Did everyone
So-
mark off at least 45 gold for the 45 days you spent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I marked off. I did the math.
So how does ship upgrades work?
That gets expensive.
then. There's a page about that. Hang on.
Oh, also, AGR, I'd like to specify all the crew on my ship are the carpenters, except for like 2 or 3 on each of the other ships, so they all have their own ship rights. But my entire crew is basically a bunch of British carpenters.
Do all these ships have like a set amount of guns by
Yes.
default?
No, they have like a max and a min, and most of them are maxed by default.
So I put Hayes the image of the upgrades table.
Actually, I wouldn't mind buying some of those.
Some of
Armor?
the people in the smaller ships can probably afford to do
Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm saying. Like my ship
Yeah.
only has 30 HP. I can afford a couple of those.
I only have 20.
Just let me know.
Now, does my AGR? What is my crew skill with a fully crewed sloop?
What is the default crew skill on a sloop?
It is. Okay, go back to ships and vessels. Come on.
Where is
Minus
armor?
It's just the default.
Hull.
Yeah, it's hull. It's minus D6 for galleons.
Yours is already the largest die value that they have.
Oh, so you could lose that somehow.
If
Yeah,
you
you
get
can-
hit with a critical hit, it can be
Ah.
fixed, but yes.
Yeah, there is armor cracking mechanics.
But so, what do I get, AGR?
What are you trying to get?
The crew skill.
Oh, yeah.
You said something earlier about like getting having pick of a
I
lot of
said,
people.
what is the default? And the default is
-1.
-1. I'm going to leave it at 0
Okay.
because I don't think you got terrible, shitty people. You took everybody almost, or every single applicant, so they're not great, but I'm not going to make them -1.
Okay. Well, I didn't do any rolling. That was all out of people that Under picked up. Can I have been doing my own rolling to get like better people?
I had you guys roll a d6 per day as a concerted effort between everybody.
Okay.
There's only so many people looking in port.
That makes sense. All right, I'll
So-
take that 0 then.
Am I also at 0?
I mean, your guys are skilled, but they're not skilled sailors.
Okay.
So what's better, broadside or small arms? What do we?
Depends on what you're trying to do. Broadsides are typically going to be more powerful, so if you're trying to sink a ship, that's a way to do it. Small arms, however, don't have firing arcs, and they ignore the hull for targeting people.
Yeah, but if my slow ship's coming in the fight, I'm be wanting to sink something, right? If you're bringing up the heavy.
Well, here's the thing, Hayes. A sunken ship is worthless to us. We get no money for that. So really what we want to do as pirates is to capture enemy ships. So an easy way to capture an enemy ship is to use our small arms to just kill everybody on them, and then to send a couple of people over to minimally crew it to come back with us to port to sell.
Alternatively, if they surrender, instead of all of them dying, only most of them will die.
I can't afford any of the upgrades anyway, so...
Well, yeah, they get more expensive when you're on bigger ships like ours.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start on upgrades. We'll start on the left. Jackass.
I'm looking at the math on this here. Let's see, it is...
Yeah, the cheapest upgrade for my ship is 1625.
I'm going to get extra swivels. Relating to what we were just talking about, since my ship is smaller, and we don't really want to be sinking things in general, it's better if I can just run up against another ship and then, kill a bunch of their crew. So having a second attack every round to do that is going to be good.
Okay. So 50 silver times 30, 1,500 silver.
Yep, I have enough for that. I just paid it.
What are your guys' ship's small arms rolls?
So a man of war's
D4s.
mine is a D8.
1?
Yeah, I get 1.
I'm going to let you guys determine what all upgrades you're getting. Note that 1,500 that cost, because we might be doing a rebate depending on what's going on. Because I think with all the shipwrights, the equipment costs money. You're not going to be able to get these super cheap, but I think your upgrades are also going to be subject to a small discount.
Nice.
But I think you're going to be limited to 1 discount per a month in port.
Well,
For
it should
upgrades.
obviously be whatever the biggest upgrade we get is.
I don't know, depending on what the discount value is.
Hmm.
I was thinking,
Probably 1/6.
okay, because I was thinking of doing upgrade and extra for my swivels. So I'll do 2d4 plus 4 crew damage, basically.
I would do both, but I don't have enough money.
How short are you?
Not much. I need
I got
500. I've got 461.
I only got 400.
How much?
That's all I have
How
left.
much do you need?
I need 39 silver.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I could have gave you that. I thought you needed 400 more.
No, that was what I have. I now have no money, and
You're
I now
upgrading your swivels to D6s.
No, upgrading is plus 2 damage.
Yep. Which is, I think,
I
better.
wish it was upgrading to d6s.
No, isn't a D4 plus 2 better than a D6?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yep, because a D4 on average is a 2.5, plus 2
Oh,
is
right,
a
right,
4.5.
right.
D6 on average is a 3.5.
So yeah, I'd like to spend 2,000 minus whatever discount on upgrading both the
Well,
number of souls and the soul
hold on.
damage. Okay.
Is no one else upgrading?
But in this game, is there no benefit to a bigger ship?
No, the benefit is you do
You're
more damage,
pirates.
and you can take more damage.
Well,
You
and
dish
can
out
carry
more
stuff.
damage.
Now, that being said, Hayes,
You
we
can
are
carry more
pirates,
stuff.
so being able to strike fast and hard is useful, as opposed to being a big, slow-ass galleon.
Where's the upgrades in the book?
If you have the player version, it's not
Discord.
in there.
Oh.
What's the stats of that ship to the left from mine? The one that's loose on right now.
That's a flute.
It's a slightly smaller version. It's not your ship. It's slightly different.
Hayes, can you show me? Not Hayes. AJR, can you show me my ship for a second? Ugh, all right. Well, that takes care of that idea. Thank you.
40 hull immediately. Nope.
Yeah, I was like, oh, let's get improved sales, and it's like, nope. Well, that'll be for later.
I was considering doing that, but it costed me everything that I just put into the guns.
Yeah.
All right, so I am
By the
potentially
way,
spending 2,000.
you probably get some offers on those galleons, and they're 60,000 silver each.
Oof.
That's
I thought the bigger ship would be better, but this game is not. No.
Hayes, are you familiar with what pirates do?
Does it look like I was born in 1700, boy?
Hayes, were you thinking about this at all
700?
beyond big ship go?
Nope.
That's fair, to be honest.
That explains why you're
it's-
so obsessed with the galleon.
Yeah.
the big benefit you have, Hayes, is the number of crew you're carrying around.
Yep.
Yeah, but
You
that
can board ships and like just take them over.
yeah, but that
By the
other
way,
ship.
they will sell you a brig for about 15,000.
Which one do we have a brig?
Yeah, it's similar to Voodoo's.
Okay, now look at the stats on the sleuth ship again.
Look out, Sleuth. He's going to use his bigger crew to take your smaller ship.
What's so
You have
wait
to cut
minus
them
1
through.
skill? What is that?
That's how good the crew is.
Flutes are hard to run.
The larger ships generally have a higher crew modifier, if you look.
Really, Hayes, if you're looking for like a good pirate ship, you're gonna want like a brig or a sloop.
Yep, which is why I wanted this one.
We only really need 1 or 2 big ships.
They'll sell you a sloop for 7,500.
The reason I insisted on trying to keep the Mischief Bounty afloat.
Yeah, no, I understood why you did it. There was just
it's
no reasonable
actually-
way to keep the peaceful intentions afloat.
Yeah, it was a real shame we
yeah.
lost that. Having another Tartane would have been really good.
Any Tartanes for sale in port?
Yeah, it's
Well, it would
similar
have been
in
better
price
if we
to
didn't
the
have to
flute,
pay for
or
it.
the similar in price to the sloop.
They're like a sloop, except they have less hit points and smaller guns, but they're pretty comparable stat-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
slightly
as
cheaper,
fast,
probably
but-
7 instead of 7.5.
And AJ, put up sleuth scan. I'm gonna screenshot the stats there. Let's see.
Oh God,
Can't
Sleuth,
believe-
he's trying to steal your information.
Can't
Hunter, do
believe
you
my
want to
own
just
teammate
post the
is
ship
squeaky.
stats for them?
I can if you want.
I mean, if they're looking at them, you might as well.
It'll also save AGR the trouble of going to my ship another 20 times today.
20. Don't be generous.
Yeah, that is lowballing it, but I'm trying to be nice.
I like that those are to scale so far.
Where do you put your current crew on this damn thing?
I just have it in the lower, those three on the bottom.
Now you see the picture of the boat? It's in the 2 boxes at the top.
In the crew quarters mostly.
Ah.
Those are probably the more relevant ones, assuming we don't want to buy another Tartane.
Yeah,
Yeah, we would most likely get a sloop.
Yeah, I was going to say if we're going to buy something, we should get the sloop because it is better.
Yeah, either a sloop or a brig. Depending on how you would want to run it, because the brig is a little slower, a little less maneuverable, but it does have a bit more staying power.
Yep. Well, I like to live dangerously. I am very happy with this sloop.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
what I was
a-
considering the
It's like
sail
a fighter
upgrade.
jet for
'cause-
the high seas.
Yeah, that's why I was considering the sail upgrade, because then I can zoom with 6 movement.
Mm.
Yeah, speaking of the man of war out front is the kind of the point ship. We got a bunch of small ships for, harassing, but also hemming them in and taking them over.
Yep.
And then we have the Spooky, which is transporting all the undead for our land operations.
Yeah, and also boarding actions against larger ships to kill all those crew. If you can get close enough.
I mean, in that case...
What if since Sleuth didn't want command of the Dutch anyway, what if I took command of that one and then we sold the galleon?
So you're going to take the ship away from the person that just got it. Got it.
You didn't want it anyway.
I mean, I'm not against having a ship, but if we were running short on ships, I'm going to be here the least. I don't mind if I don't have one.
I mean, 60,000 is a lot. Then we can upgrade that one.
I feel like having that other ship would be nice.
But you realize that it's 60,000 isn't just going to be all yours. That's going to get split between
all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
still a lot of
prize.
money.
That's selling your property, so that's only split between players.
The only reason he wanted the galleon was because of the name galleon. It was still a prize before all of this conversation took place. Hayes is regretting his decision.
I'm okay with that because we've already turned the crew loose, so I'm okay with that. Not,
you've
they don't
already
get a
paid
share.
out that voyage, so you can sell that, and it is not.
It's
No, I
fleet
meant the
reorganization,
captains.
not. Well, what we could do is we could sell the galleon. Hayes can have the sitting Dutch if he really wants it, and we could buy a sloop for Sleuth to command, and if he's not here, it's just a sloop under General Fleet Command.
That works.
Then our total number of ships doesn't really change. We still have our pretty dang flexible squadron here.
Yep.
How much did you say the sloop costs?
75.
75.
Now, if we do that, our total crew also goes down, which means we can be a little more
Well, you'll have a
selective.
bunch of people
That's
that you
true.
told would have a job, and then you would have to decide where they're going.
I mean, we've got empty slots.
They haven't left port with you yet, so
Right.
they're not like you're not on the hook. You're not beholden to them.
If
You
we
said 7,500?
for the sloop, we get 60K if we sell the galleon, and then the net of that would be what we
So
distribute.
then we'd each get 6.5K. Roughly.
Hmm?
8 divided by 52. 500.
How are you getting 52?
60,000 minus 7,500.
And then splitting the remainder of currency would be 65, 62 to each person.
Yeah.
Oh. That would afford us all upgrades then.
Is this what we're doing?
I'm thinking on it.
He doesn't want the galleon.
Suddenly.
Right. I think keeping the other galleon is a good idea just because of the raw transport capacity of it. Like, not necessarily as a fighting ship, but as like a delivery vessel for Spook and Hayes' undead armies.
Well, how about this though? Why don't we find out if
Vector.
Spook even wants his galleon? Because if he doesn't want that, we just sell his one, and then I'll keep this one.
Because he isn't here, and we can wait till next week to ask that. We can take care
That's
of
what
that.
I'm saying.
Also, keeping the galleon as a transport for, breach crashing into other ships with a, army of undead is very
Well, that's the
beneficial.
thing. I
It's a good
also
spot to
plan.
store them.
I plan to have an army of undead as well. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you get a sloop, you're not going to be able to store as many. The galleon can store a lot of undead in their cargo holds.
Yeah, you might be better off on one of the galleons leading that army of skeletons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I think I should still probably
Well, the fleet
be
can hold
in charge of a
80.
galleon.
Oh, that's right.
The galleon can hold 120 undead.
That's what I'm saying.
Over capacity, max it out.
Because if Spectre, doesn't want one, then we could just be both on the same galleon, and we have it full of both of our undead, and then we do whatever operation
Yeah,
we got to
but
do.
that won't change selling one galleon.
And buying a sloop.
Yeah. The only thing is, I would recommend we sell the non-treasure galleon and keep the treasure galleon because of the speed difference.
Yeah, the treasure galleon has a 3.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, it's better.
So
Yeah, they have to file off the serial numbers, and they have to remove anything that would make it obvious it was a Spanish treasure galleon before they can do anything with it anyway. So
we'll keep my galleon, and Spectre will be with me, and we'll have an army of the undead ship. We'll be the Rising Dead.
So you're going to sell the spooky galleon. You're going to make Spectre share a boat with you.
Well, no, I think Hayes wants to captain the flute still, but all the undead.
No, I want to captain the ship where all my undead are.
Well, we can have them on both.
It sounds like Hayes is trying to fight Spectre for control of his ship.
Well, it's going to be hard because he's not
So
here.
you're going to sell Spectre ship, and you're going to you're going to make you're going to take his niche in the party and supplant him. Okay.
Hey, Pete, what do you mean? He's not here to defend himself. It'll be easy.
It's like when Pete took over from Mister. He'll still be able to do all the same things. He just won't be the captain.
Redundancy is the key to combat.
And then when I'm not here next week, he can take over as captain, and I'll be.
I will
think
say
you should
this.
keep your
Spectre
undead
was
on the
not a
flute.
captain at the beginning of the previous session, and he probably doesn't care. But you also have the ability to buy him another ship as long as you don't spend all your money.
Well, that's the other thing. Here, it says I summon the skeletons. Can't I tell them they are to follow Spectre's commands so he could lead our combined army of undead on a land op?
Yes, you can. They're not very
that's
smart,
what I'm
but
saying.
they do follow those orders.
That's
yes.
exactly what I said, Hayes. And
Yeah,
then
but
you
I'm
said,
saying
no,
we're
I
gonna
want to
be-
be with my skeletons.
Yeah, I'm saying we're all going to be, though, on the one galleon.
I thought you didn't want a galleon.
Like Hayes, you could store your undead seconded to Spectre on his ship, and then you command like your own sloop for seaborne
flute.
ops.
Nah.
You could also just be on the flagship and put your undead on Spectre's ship, and you could just be on the flagship where hopefully you don't die because there's actually living people there to defend you.
Nah, I'm thinking more me and Spectre, one ship, go fuck some shit up in land ops, and I support him from the ship.
Oh, that's right. Spectre wanted me to ask you another question.
Yes.
Hayes, he wanted to know how much dick you had to suck to get that promotion.
I go through a couple pairs of knee pads.
All right, so y'all make a decision. You got 10 minutes to finish making any upgrades you're going to make.
So
that's what I'm saying. We'll sell one.
All right.
Spectre will be on.
My idea: sell the galleon 60,000, buy a sloop 750, put 10,000 reserve to get another ship if we need one, and that would be the money handle. Then divide what's left after that.
What's the
We can get
10,000
on with
for?
the upgrades. In case we want to buy another ship, so we have extra money for buying a ship. If we don't, then we just distribute that amongst the captains.
I would say we just distribute it. I don't think we need to hold it in reserve.
Yeah.
So we do buy the sloop. Who wants to captain it then?
That'd be Burger's ship.
He already has a ship.
I thought he was the flute.
Oh, I thought you were taking over the flute. That's right, I forgot. Now you want to go back to the galleon.
Yeah, because Hayes doesn't make up his mind.
Okay. So does anybody not have a ship that wants one?
Does Jose have a ship? Gilbert?
Think about how often I'm able to attend.
That's fine. We can run your ship as a fleet op ship most of the time, but you can nominally have that ship.
Oh, fair. I mean, fair
Yeah,
enough.
this could be like the hot seat ship, so if you or Mr. are here, it'll be there.
That's a perfect name for it. It's the hot seat.
Perfect. I
There we
love
go. Yeah,
coming up
we'll
with
call it the
names.
hot seat. Random question. With all the,
Scat.
That's
With
his
all those
hots cap.
ritual books that we acquired, did we acquire another person that can summon massive amounts of undead?
Yes, that's me.
That's
Have you
Hayes.
been- Have you been listening at all to what we've
Okay.
been talking
Yes,
about?
So,
We
hold,
did get
Hey,
another person.
guys.
Hayes just has.
Wait, how much?
Oh well, that suddenly changes the math a little bit here.
Now, the reduction in crew from going from a
It's
galleon.
so it's 33.
Guys,
That
Okay,
if
hang
I
on.
may.
Let's do the crew first. He
Yeah,
has a
would
good
you-
point
That's
right
what
Do
there.
I'm
you mind if I
saying.
finish, Hayes, or do you want to do
Okay.
what? All right. Well, here, why don't we
Actually,
handle
could I
whatever Hayes
ask
thinks
my
is so
question
important
before
first?
I
I'm
and then
move
we
talking
can do
about
what
the
I'm doing.
crew.
Guys.
There was 17 of specters and zombies, and
Guys, before
33
you
crew.
started
we added.
trampling me, I had a question about those ritual books.
Yes.
Yes,
Do we have another one of those? I know Hayes acquired
that's
one.
specters.
Okay.
The other
did
one
we
is reserved for
acquire
Spectre.
that.
4 ritual books?
We required 2 ritual books. One went to Hayes.
Okay.
The other
and Hayes
went to
was the other one
Spook.
that got brought in. I gotcha.
The other is Spook's because he looted it on his own while he was fighting through Havana. He just isn't here to claim that reward today.
Okay.
Right.
Wait.
That
was
book
there,
has 3 rituals in it.
was there not a third
So
one?
he
that we
may
got
not take
from the
them
loot
all.
tables?
What?
Was there not a third one from the loot tables?
No, there
No.
was not.
Okay.
And to answer your other question, we don't have another person who can summon undead. Hayes just has another way to summon undead.
Yeah, the same as sorcerer.
No, I
wouldn't do that.
had. Yeah.
Well, yes. Now he has more than one way to summon undead, and one of them
Okay.
is objectively better.
What I was
How
saying
many
about.
crew?
That's what I was saying. There was 50. 17 were already on there from Spectre, so we
Okay.
added 33. So we could take the 17, well, or 15, whatever.
The
from
17 are going
Spectre.
to the Rising Sun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
that's
undead.
what I'm saying. They go there.
And then the rest can go elsewhere. We can
On
just
the
put,
new ship.
more buffers. Oh
On
yeah,
the
we
new-
need we
new
need some for the
ship.
sloop.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's
How
put
many?
10. Well, that ship came uncrewed, so it'd only be 10. Unless they sell it with crew,
look,
that'd be a new
that's
feature. Okay, so that leaves 20 to stick elsewhere.
Now,
Well,
by being a bit more discerning about who we put where, does this allow us to get better crew modifiers on any of the smaller ships?
Let me note, though, that this would put me over the max. So maybe we take a couple more.
No, you can have
no?
up to double.
That's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can have
Yeah.
120 with no penalty.
Yeah, you can have 2 full crews because you can do swing shifts, so it makes your crew morale go up.
And I'm going to
probably.
say this, and I would like to make sure everybody's aware of it before you make any additional decisions regarding crew. Okay? Because there was confusion, I was very lax on this before, but I am going to make this clear now. The reason you can hold double crew is because it's a good idea. You need 30 to sail the ship. You need 60 to fight the ship. Everything over that is gravy.
Then the Man of War
Okay.
needs like an extra 100 people.
Yeah.
Say those numbers again.
So
That smaller number, the minimum, is what you need to sail the ship so you can move it around and not like have a situation where the sails are all set and you can't stop, right? You need 30 to keep the ship moving. You need 60. So the smaller number is to sail the ship, the bigger number is to fight the ship. So in order to sail it and man the cannons at the same time, you're going to have 60.
okay, then let's go to the diplomat. They're going to get those 20 instantly because they need a lot more crew, so we need to recruit now. So he has buffer for both. So you can have 300 on there, correct?
Yes.
Double the bigger number.
Yes, I would like 75 more people at a minimum.
So we need to go recruiting for a few days. All right.
Well,
who
then
wants to roll that?
should we have some
I'm
more
also
on
absolutely open to letting you like have some kind of hammock upgrade if you're looking to increase your capacity.
Well, shouldn't we upgrade the galleon then too, since we're barely at the firing point.
Yes, we have to recruit for several more days now.
Yeah.
That's
For
what I'm
everybody,
saying.
not just the Man of War.
Yeah,
All
for
the ships
everybody.
are going to want more crew with these new rules. I mean,
That
other
should be
than
fine.
probably
It
the
also
sloops.
gives you the opportunity to decide if you're trying to be a little bit more discerning about what you're doing.
Yeah,
We can't
is it
afford
a
to
good
be.
idea to run the sloops with just 10 people each?
No, it's not.
No,
You should be running them at the
that's
maximum.
The maximum is what you need for combat now. He just he made it a
Ah.
discernitive rule. So
Okay,
now
well
you
then
need 20.
Yeah, we need 20 then.
Yeah, so we have to go on in our series of recruits.
Yeah. So hang on. Let's take a look at this. So hot seat.
Quick question: do all of our ships have
Oh no, 10. He can
rams?
combat with 10.
No,
Yes.
ram doesn't mean like a physical ram. It means ramming them with the ship.
Yeah.
As in,
It
like,
deals
ramming
damage
speed.
to both ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you would like a ram, we can probably find one in the market.
So the
I don't
hot
know what
seat
you're going to do with
needs
it.
7. I'm just trying to sum up how many people we need to recruit. Because we want the smaller ships to be at their double of fighting strength.
Yes.
Okay, so we need 7 for the hot seat. Go to the jackass.
10.
We need 10 for that. Voodoo.
You had 13 people on the hot seat?
We need 30 for the voodoo. The
Yes.
mischiefs, we need 5.
5.
Dutch. Ooh.
60.
Yeah, we need 60 for the Dutch. Actually is kind of big. We might not want to go full double on that. I would say we need 40 more for the Dutch. Have 20 spare.
Yeah, I think like crew and a half.
That's
more than
totally
enough
fine.
for
The larger
ones.
the numbers are, you have some padding.
Right. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about. All right. Rising Sun.
Well, let me ask you this though: are we counting skeleton crew or like stuff in the hold?
That depends.
Because I don't think we
Yeah.
should factor all the skeletons into the crew. You know what I mean?
For the most part, the skeletons are in the hold because otherwise your crew gets a morale debuff.
Correct.
Okay, so then we're
If you
only
use
at
skeletons as crew, your crew's skill is going to go down, and your crew is probably going to desert.
okay. Then
If
we
you're
only
using
have
them as a boarding party. It's different.
we only have 50 on the galleon right now. Then
Okay. So we probably want 30 more. Again, just give you a
AGR.
20-person buffer. And the diplomat.
Yes, Ruffles.
I was going to say put a parenthesis 17 on the name, and then we'll use that for tracking where the skeletons are. That way there's a separate for skeleton and crew.
and it's the Rising Dead.
Then at least it's written somewhere down so you're like, how many skeletons do we have?
Yeah. Okay. And then the diplomat, so we need at least 26 more. I'd like a 20 buffer, so 46 more there. So that means we need to recruit another 168 people.
So another, I would say, 2 months of recruiting.
We might want to do that somewhere else at this point. We've probably exhausted the local supply. Maybe you go to, like, Port Royal or...
We don't have letters of
Somewhere.
marque yet. Several of us are wanted there.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
there was just an example.
French and Dutch are the only ports.
This is
we
the
can
only.
sail into.
This is the only port that's friendly to us at the moment.
We're in Tortuga right now?
Yes.
Yeah, Dutch are friendly to us, I thought.
They wouldn't be.
No,
Well-
they're probably not. We're notorious
Well-
pirates at this point.
Yeah. Well, no, I meant like
So-
we're not wanted directly by the Dutch, so
So I've got an idea unrelated
There
to the
are
crew.
several pirate ports in the Bahamas. If you're looking for another, like Nassau.
Yeah.
Have we
Yeah,
actually depleted the pool here in Tortuga?
That's what I was getting at, is we should go somewhere else if we need that.
This
people.
is a very large port. If you are taking, like, if you took another 45 days, then I think you would probably be fine to roll the same thing. Although if
okay.
you want to limit yourself to skilled people and only recruit skilled people, I would have you do 45 days rolling d4s instead of 6s.
I like that.
Well, you guys decide. I got another game to get to. See you. Thanks for
Okay.
DMing, Aegir.
Yep. Take